Day. Welcome once again to an Ultimo Ice GDQ submission video. Here we are submitting Bully to GDQ, and you may ask why this is an important video and why you should accept Bully 2 into GDQ, and I will give you the main reason, which is Bully 2 was officially leaked. Therefore, this is beyond reasonable, any assumptions or any type of contemplation that you could have done in the past reasonably. We're past that point, and now this is going to be a game that comes out in the next 2 years. Not this one, but Bully 2, where Jimmy is allegedly in college. We don't know really the details yet. That's all speculation, however.
Hello there, man.
We do know the game's coming out. We do know Rockstar loves this game, and so do the consumers, and so do the people who have followed this game for so many years. To clear the air right away, this is not about being a bully. You're actually only ever retaliate against factions that pick a fight with you first. So we like to think of Jimmy as the anti-bully, not actually a bully.
Serial killers,
which, if you haven't played the game, it's probably easy to assume that he is a bully, not just someone who is kind of rough. I mean, he is a rough kid. He's been abandoned by his mom at the school so that she can go marry a guy that he's never really had time with before, so she's just going on a year-long honeymoon with a rich person. Implication being that she does pick men who are rich so that she can just live the type of life that she thinks she should live instead of raising her son. And because of that, yes, he is kind of a rough personality. Kuma, hey, don't bark. That's not nice. Every time she hears a car door, my dog, she then thinks that someone's here to play with her. When someone slams a car door, because, like, I don't know why she thinks that. She thinks that she has a visitor. She doesn't have a visitor, but she thinks she does. So she's very excited. Alright, so double stun, so that's, if I was going for PB, that'd be like a 3-second time loss I'd probably complain about. You're gonna see a lot of, like, both time saves and losses. I'll call them both out equally. But fortunately, this game's very easy to recover from. First of all, every single time loss I complain about is a few seconds, if it happens. All RNG based. But there's gonna be a few situations where I actually, like, well, the game would have to soft or hard lock to have a non-recoverable situation, which is what makes it safe. And in the case of a soft or a hard lock, I would have safety saves backed up at every major critical juncture where it could happen, so that we don't actually ever get in a position where we can't continue the run. So that's how you make this GDQ safe.
Why are you not in your uniform, young man?
But yes, that was a tutorial, and the tutorials will continue all the way through Chapter 2. That was introducing the Bully faction, which wear the white button downs. They're actually called the Bully faction. There's a lot of different factions in the game, but that's the weakest one, which doesn't surprise anyone who knows how bullies usually function. We lost about 6 seconds to average on that from all the weird movements and everything. So we drink the soda, because that's how you recover health. I never have seen Jimmy actually eat anything other than fruit or drink soda, so Jimmy doesn't need a lot of calories. But you will change into your uniform because the prefects and cops, well, prefects on campus, will bust you for not being in your uniform, for one, if you have some class you're supposed to attend. And two, because it's part of the mission. But the prefects and cops do take the rules seriously, and you'll see that through the game, that they will take anything from truancy to any type of bullying activity very seriously and will bust you for it. The threat meter on the right side, which you're about to learn about in this mission, actually. It's on the right side of the mini-map up there.
Hey, Jimmy, let me show you around. That's rough.
The health's on the left side, the threat meter's on the right.
Who almost put you in the hospital.
And when that threat meter gets past the second little nubbin right there,
Vocal cord. Ow!
that's when you know I'm in about 5-6 star rating on Grand Theft Auto. Basically, no matter if there's any type of prefects or police around, they will storm you on vehicles, whatever they have to do to bring you down. Things that will trigger that will be hitting any type of authority, hitting any type of adult, female, or child. So anything that would consider picking on helpless or authority figures will end you in, basically end in you getting arrested or in detention. The game does actually try to prevent you from being a bully, especially for helpless people.
Well done.
There's probably cross-references. I never looked that up, Power Armor. It's a good question, but Rockstar in general is very notorious for leaving hints. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why people think that Bully 2 is imminent. Because in Grand Theft Auto, in the new expansion, they had a code that if you changed all the values by 2, including the letters, it spelled BLY something. I forget exactly what it spelled, but it was like Bully something, and like the number made sense too. Bully 2. if you reduced every single value by 2 places, it said BLY2. And so that again was like everyone saying, oh, like that's just Rockstar foreshadowing the Bully 2, which would be something Rockstar would do. Eunice is on my backdrop here.
How are you?
This is one of the first pro-positive homosexual games I remember ever playing, which is cool that it was kind of ahead of its time. You can smooch on girls or guys, but for this tutorial, it's teaching you that if you're nice to Eunice, then she'll let you smooch. That's as far as the game goes before you think there's something inappropriate in the game. The furthest the game ever goes is smooching. It is within the... there's nothing in here that would be considered illegal, because, you know, this is a high school game, so it does have to be PG-13. So, and it does walk that line very finely in some instances, but it never crosses what would be considered absurd or inappropriate. But there you go, there's a smooch, little smooch for Jimmy. First day on campus and he's already winning over the ladies.
I'll remember this forever.
Oops, got hung up on the wall. That's something that's going to be very important for me as I play this game, is I need to buffer my movements after cutscenes very carefully. If you don't, then what happens, what you just saw happens. And since this was built on the San Andreas engine,
Feeding time.
the movements are extremely clunky.
To learn, not to goof off. Get to class.
So you don't want to get stuck on walls or on people. It's very hard to recover from those situations. So pathing in general, and especially when you come out of cutscenes, is going to be very important. I think you're right, Power Armor. I think one of the achievements does actually have you smooch girls and guys or something like that. Like there's actually like an achievement even called like Over the Rainbow, I think, or at least I thought there was in the 360 version. It requires you to smooch, I think, everybody or something like that. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It's been a long time.
What are you doing in here? Oh, right.
Well, Bully 2 is going to happen, Old Assassin. It's already been leaked by several different sources. It's not like one obscure like leak. Plenty of reputable sources now have confirmed Bully 2's existence, and that it is further in development than a lot of people thought it was. Which wasn't a surprise to me, because they actually had casting calls for Bully 2. I think last year or the year before. I remember seeing the casting calls for them. And that was a big deal, because that proved that they were at least considering making Bully 2, so we all assumed that they would announce it at some point. Just based off the fact that Hollywood was already preparing for it. By Hollywood, I mean casting calls, not actual Hollywood.
Nice work, Jimmy.
Generically, Hollywood. LA. And plus, you know, Rockstar has always been very loyal to this brand. They had to push out the ones that would make them cash, like Red Dead Redemption is considered an offshoot of Rockstar, one of their niche games that obviously is widely successful as a franchise, and especially that game, so they had to get that one out of the way. We all kind of knew that their passion project after that might be Bully 2, would probably be Bully 2, because the franchise on the first iteration of it actually did make money. It didn't make a ton of money, but it did make money.
I'll get him
And Rockstar has admittedly really loved this franchise. Wow, 4 times in a row that guy hitting me. It's the first time in 5 that he is not. I've been hit by him like 6 or 7 times, and like the last 4 have been within like the last 4 runs. It's crazy. So we're back to normality. Oh, that's a big time loss. You can see I have to wait for the, first of all I have to get hit around for a while. I have to wait for the cutscenes whenever they hit me during the cutscenes, so that's why that one really sucks when they hit me there. Firecrackers in that battle quickly. Take a couple more hits. Not the worst segment I've ever seen, but obviously not great. Because anytime you have to watch that door just slowly come down, it happens pretty fast, I know. But when you're in the middle of like a world record or PB attempt, where you have a really competitive early game, those garage doors fall so slowly. You just sit there, and it feels like an hour has gone by while you're watching that cutscene of your time, and your soul drain away. Which anyone that has watched me do this competitively will know that mission has reset a lot of runs, just because by the 3rd time of that door closing, I'm just like, I can't. The anxiety is real. We're starting over. But today, that would not be something that would make me reset. So, not for this video. Plus, a real-time attack PB is imminent because I am playing on the PS3. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I am on the PS3, which is the fastest RTA that I can possibly get on the PS2 version, running from disk. PS4 on SSD is not faster. We've tried it. In fact, those are the splits I'm running against.
That's a good idea, right?
Yeah, okay, alright, sure, I'll do it.
Alright, GP, have a good lurk, my friend.
I haven't had any money stolen.
Yeah, and Power Armor, I guarantee that they're not using top talent for this. Have you ever done any acting or anything, Power Armor? Or how is your knowledge coming from that? Because I haven't heard that. I actually used to act and model. And I've never heard that. Of course, I don't really get told those things. I mean, I've never acted for a video game either. I would do voice acting for a video game, but I don't think my voice is good enough to do actually voice acting. I have to rely on my face. Yeah, you know, it's like on radio, they're like, I have a face for radio. Well, mine's the opposite. Like, I have a voice for TV. Because I don't think that I have one of those voices that could, sell myself purely on my...
Did you get hit with the whipstick?
On my broadcasting ability.
Go hide in that tree so you can mess.
Hey, Zero! It's been a long time. I have not read your message yet. Give me a second. We're doing our GDQ submission video. Now, here's an interesting mission because it wants to train me to snipe people from trees on occasion, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to stand here on the ground, which is faster, and the, whoops, if I can target. And basically, I'm using the time frame that it has built in for me to fail by not being in the tree. I'm letting that kind of run out, but while I do that, I also complete the mission. So, the game gets kind of confused there for a second. It doesn't know whether to pass or fail me, but it's like, I guess everyone's down, so I guess we can just say he passed. Essentially how that works. Yeah, it has been a long time, Zero. I hope you're doing well. What's been the word? Now we finally get to see Algae here. Algae is one of the nerd faction. You can tell by their astronomy vest that they wear. Hey, nothing wrong with speedrunning some bully. Oh wait, what am I doing?
I heard you wet your
That was my own fault. So I'm supposed to actually snipe that guy. I was too busy reading chat. So now I actually will have to like beat up all these guys. That was my own fault. Well, maybe. If I can actually get a hold of this guy. And of course they're defending, so it's gonna make it even worse. I'm helping you. All right, so because I did basically what I'd normally do is I'd give that guy a rock to the face, and then I wouldn't have to fight those other two guys because it would just skip that cutscene. But I was reading chat, being too interactive, so I will lose time here. I don't know how much yet. We'll see. We don't want to run into that prefect. That would be bad news bears for us. And also we want to stay kind of within Algae's reach because he can get stuck on walls and such if we're not careful. So we want to kind of avoid the prefect because we are skipping class. But while we avoid the prefect, we also want to guide Algae slowly to the bathroom. He's actually really in this mission paying us to protect him while he goes to his locker, but he doesn't want to go pee again in his pants because he thinks if he gets bullied, he's going to pee himself. He has bladder issues. So he's like midway through going to the locker, he's like, hey, can we stop at the bathroom real quick? But like all good speedrunners, Algae is willing to skip washing his hands as long as he wait by his locker. We skip bringing him here as well as the cutscene to wash his hands. So him being a pee fingers is
Here it is.
something he's just gonna have to deal with as a speedrunner. So as you can see, we lost about 20, 30 seconds somewhere in that range.
Cash. I'll tell my mom that not everyone
From not skipping that cutscene, but that's not a big deal at this point in time. It's 20, 30 seconds. Again, any time losses I get should be recoverable, and they should be pretty quickly recoverable unless my whole console locks up. So, and seeing how we're playing on load times that are very favorable, since I switched systems, it doesn't really matter what our time is every single individual split, because by the last chapter I should be 7-8 minutes ahead at least, or something went horribly wrong. So yes, basically my goal for GDQ will probably be around 3 hours. Because even on an average run, we should finish around the 2:55 range on our real-time attack, and that's on a very mediocre run that's had a lot average amount of time losses, or even a bad amount of time losses. We should still finish sub 3. So sub 3 will be probably my RTA for GDQ submission. So.
Thanks.
Petey here is going to teach us how to fetch quest. As you can see, we take the package and we insert it into our backpack pocket, just like we will retrieve it from our backpack pocket when we reach Beatrice here across the way. This is a required fetch quest. He'll bother you in the boys' dorm until you do it, but this is the only fetch quest blue marker we have to do. There he goes. Bloop. There's his package. Hey, Chris, good to see you. What's up? Omega boy. Did you go to Midwest Speed Fest this year? I didn't even ask if you actually went. Prefect location here kind of matters. If he's in the center, he will grab you unless you take a wide berth around him, which he was not in the risky position. Just something you learn over time, that if the prefects are in certain locations, you have to really avoid their gorilla arms.
Go on, Petey. Go cry to the teacher.
I mean, there is also a neutral kid, non-faction kid that is named Fatty in this game, Power Armor, so sometimes you wonder if the developers just kind of put placeholder names in and forgot to change some of them.
Hi there.
Because I don't really see how they would have purposely named one of the neutral kids Fatty as his birth name, like he appears in the yearbook as Fatty. But I mean, it's Rockstar, so who knows? And yeah, the prefects, especially in that algae mission, the prefects are very, very awful in how they can be located. And that's a lot of missions, actually. So, Odd Assassin. I did not almost say old. I said odd and then second guess saying odd this time. You have me all confused. But as Odd Assassin pointed out, the prefect location can really mess with your time. And that's a lot of these missions. Sometimes I'll even get surprised by prefects I didn't know could be in certain locations. Like they'll come out of doorways, or a policeman will. And then I'll get fooled by authority in a way that I didn't even know could happen. So you always have to kind of be on your toes, because there is some random RNG with placement of certain NPCs and certain authority figures. And sometimes they'll even randomly produce authority figures, like teachers will randomly appear on the map. And like, there's no reason for them to, it's just a small percent that the teacher walks out of a doorway. So if you're doing anything bad at the time. Alright, so here's a hobo. We didn't actually explain this time, but here's a hobo that lives behind the school. And if you're wondering why a hobo lives behind the school, nobody knows. The teachers even know that he's here. They'll even address him on certain occasions, which we'll see in the speedrun. But for whatever reason, there's a hobo behind the school, and he just exists, and that's all you need to know.
Another good deed.
And he wants transistors. And I do know why he wants transistors, but I'm not going to tell you all. That's one of the benefits you can get by playing the game casually, because that tutorial mission of how to give him transistors and learning new fighting skills is the only hobo quest we will actually do. Hobo mission. Otherwise, we'll not be doing any because they waste time. The rest are optional. There's a lot of fun side quests that we won't be doing in the actual speedrun.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Out.
Big baby, maybe, I guess. Maybe we're pronouncing it wrong. Maybe it's like maybe it's short for like Fatimo, because isn't that like a Middle Eastern name? Is like, oh no, Fatima. I don't know if Fatimo is a name, but it sounds like it could be based off Fatima, the Middle Eastern name. So maybe, just maybe, it's shortened from something else.
Come on, Bucky, fight back!
Alright, so both of those guys are supposed to get knocked out, but that guy sometimes has a little energy left over. These guys are supposed to, in a cutscene style, well, not cutscene style, but they're supposed to attack me as I round this corner.
You're pathetic.
But if you just kind of boop them on their snoots as you round the corner before you round the corner, then they will taunt you still, and words hurt. But they won't physically hurt you, just with their words. We're gonna tag both those guys, boop them as well, and then send the mission. For our efforts here, we get the skateboard, which is famous for its skateboard glitching, which is exploiting the physics engine to go faster than we should be able to go on the skateboard, but it's also risky. It's easy to veer out of control, and also it's easy to run into walls and such, which all lose time, more time than you save actually glitching out the skateboard, so we have to very sparingly use the skateboard glitch, where we wiggle the nose of the skateboard, which you'll see very clearly as I go on straightaways. Like, well, not the NPCs, but you can see right there as I wiggle the nose of the skateboard and I increase in speed as I do so. Skateboard boosting is, I believe, what the runners usually call it. There's one for the bike as well, which you'll see. That's called brake pumping. So both are all means of transportation. Kind of have their own movement glitches. Minus running, just generically running does not have any type of movement glitch. And no, he's not the janitor because there's actually, that's why I suggested before is maybe the hobo is actually the school janitor, right? But he's not because the janitor does exist within the game. He doesn't appear often, but he's one of those adults that can randomly appear on campus, and he holds a broom. There's a small chance that he does exist on the world map, so there is a different maintenance guy. But good thought, because I thought the same thing for a second before I remembered that there was actually a maintenance guy, a groundskeeper with a broom that wanders around campus. And of course, playing it casually as a kid, I wondered if you could actually take the broom from the janitor. And spoiler, you can. I didn't even do that as a speedrun thing. I just did it casually one time, and turns out you don't even get a threat meter for doing it. You can just kind of take it, and there's a slight animation, like when you take a bat away from a kid. And then he just kind of sits there all dejected, like, oh, he took my broom. You know, I mean, you cannot be violent towards him. If you be violent towards him, it will give you the full threat rating, but it's just interesting that the game did not account for the fact that you can steal the janitor's broom. Like there I hit the grass, that's bad. You don't want to do that while skateboard glitching. Now we're going to deploy the world famous Smooch and Boop.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy shows us how not to woo
You're
ladies.
Wonderful.
Is you do a favor for them. You give them a little smooch because now Beatrice likes us. Shout out to good professor here. That's his lady.
I hope it gets easier.
But we also want to get busted. Remember when I said that you can get ratings for threat meter ratings for picking on the innocent? That's one of those instances where I'm exploiting that. I need this guy to grab me and bust me instantly. You can see I can't even fight it. Normally, if you get into this sequence, you can actually fight being apprehended. But since I picked on someone that was innocent, they rushed me instantly without even being on the screen, and then threw me to the ground with much force. And sedated me, actually. I think that's what they're doing. The game never explicitly says, but they do have a vial of something, I think. They like act like they're chloroforming you or sedating you in some way. I don't really know what they're doing. Since that the game never really says. All you know is that there's no chance for escape. Ooh, get out of my way, nerd. I'm gonna go protect the other nerd. So in this mission, the nerd faction leader, Ernest, wants to be class president, but he knows that the jocks are going to ruin his speech because they want the jock leader to be class president, so I'm protecting him. That's why I was hired, is I'm stopping the bullying faction, the aggressive faction, from ruining the speech of our great democratic nation.
Words, my friends.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
School needs help.
Not good enough.
My help.
I am removing these speakers for a reason.
How many of you out there abused by society?
It's going to save me a couple seconds, and it's only, I'm in a rail-in, as the kids are calling it, so there's really no way for me to save time minus that small little speaker improvement I'm doing right there. It'll make sense when the mascot appears, who is Constantino, who is not an athlete himself, he just kind of hangs out with them. He's neutral faction. But since he's the mascot, the athletes kind of claim him as their own. In fact, one line from the game, I believe, says something like, "We're the only ones that can beat on him," or something like that. So they do pick on him, but they're the only ones that get to. So in a way, I guess it's better to have some protection from the toughest click than, oh, wow. With a red trigger, I actually missed 3 times on that guy, so that's just bad luck. That has to do with just system glitching. Is I shot at the guy 3 times with when the trigger had turned red and it missed all 3 times. So happens. Not usually 3 times. I think that's the first time it's happened 3 times in a row. Usually it happens like once. But that's the time where you really don't want it to happen, because that's one of the moments where 2 appear at once. And so you lose time by missing even really once. There's not a lot of room for misguided shots there, but since I missed 3 times, there was slight little time loss there. Not a big deal, just a few seconds.
What have sports done for you?
Because because as long as the trigger's red, it's supposed to kind of like home in on the person. Like when you shoot the rock out. Here, oh yeah, I forgot I was already at the mascot. So I really didn't save the time I was expecting to because I lost count of how many bullies who ran by, mainly because of that incident of not firing fast enough. So it wasn't the same order as normal. But that's fine, as I said. Not a big deal. There's not really a lot of time to gain or lose in this particular mission since I'm railed in.
You want me to beat on you?
Let me tell you.
Yes, bullying, so that's a good thing to mention, Power Armor, yes. Bullying in general is discouraged in this game. Well, it's always discouraged in the game. But it's super discouraged against people that are helpless, like kids or females. And it's definitely discouraged against authority figures like police or prefects. Doing so will immediately get you busted, and not just in a gentle way, they will take you down instantly, so yes. That's why this game is not about bullying. You're the anti-bully. You're taking down other bully factions as an innocent third party. And the game does not want you to pick on people. But if a prefect sees you bullying anybody, then they will chase you and they will come after you for that. It's just, if it's someone who is like not necessarily innocent, then unless they see you do it, they won't come after you. The game goes out of its way to bust you otherwise, if like you have someone that you're doing that to that's innocent. Or an authority figure. Alright, so Halloween time. Now if you're wondering how much time has passed in the game, it's still the first day of school. We have not slept at all. It's just we've done so many main missions so quickly that it's... Whoa, actually, wow, that's weird. How's my skateboard still out? The game actually expects you right now to be well within several days of gameplay inside the game. But yeah, this is day one still. Now, an incentive that I will use for this game when I submit it is the final prank of this mission, which is a bag of poo on the teacher's lounge. Like, the thing about Halloween is they're like, oh, there's no prefects, which means we can do anything we want forever, which is actually not really true. It's kind of true as there's no prefects, but oh wow. Picking on someone will actually still get you in a lot of trouble that you're not supposed to, like kids or females, and we're going to exploit that at the end of Halloween. But in the meantime, we have to do all these pranks, but we will not do the optional one except for if we're incentivized, because it is slower and it is optional.
You stink, loser!
Alright, this is the glitchiest one. We gotta be very careful on the marble one, especially in a marathon type setting. Whoops, that's good. She fell anyways. Now that's just considered, that's not considered actually harming her. That's just a prank. It's just a prank, bro. So we only got 2. Now that is a lot of bars of threat, even for just like a prank, bro. But like one other type of act, aggressive act, would have definitely put us in 3-star territory.
Hey there.
Now I actually want to stay around this female because, as I said, I want to, after this, use the threat system. So there you go, I just gave her a little tap, and even though these guys are all supposed to be at the staff party, if I try to pick on someone innocent, they will instantly bust me for that. They'll come out of the staff meeting for that purpose. Alright, next few missions are actually very heavily time-based. We need to complete them in a very certain amount of time. This one's the most strict of all of them. Reason being is class order is important in the speedrun. It's not irrecoverable, but it's very important that I get the classes in the order I need them. So I have about 45 seconds to do 40 seconds worth of work here in game taking time. Now, it's not a direct translation, and that already lost some time there just based off of some weird glitch on my inventory, which can happen on occasion. So we're going to glitch out our skateboard and go over here, but we want to complete this mission fairly quickly. We want to beat these guys before Gary gets here, ideally. So we lose no time whatsoever.
Jimmy's gonna kick your ass, right, Jimmy?
Yes, that's true. All right, so we did that one just fast enough to not lose any time, and now we have to just. So here, what the game's really teaching us is who the real antagonist is. So it's teaching us some story in this mission, but the other thing it's going to teach us is movement, because once the town opens up, which will be after this mission, we'll get access to Bullworth proper, and we're going to need to use a lot of other movement types that we've not had to use previously.
We can't get in there.
This is teaching us all those tactics.
You're really gonna like this,
I'm gonna
Jimmy.
exploit some of them, like this one right here.
Now here's another switch.
Whoops. we're gonna get halfway through and then actually jump. And pressing the jump button actually forces us to squeeze out like a pressure tube. I don't know, the physics engine in the game can be a bit wonky. So that's one of the ways I can exploit the physics engine is by jumping while going underneath crouching places like that. And you'll see that really in chapter 5 when we're busting in. That's a long time from now, but there's a whole entire sequence where we have to crawl for a long period of time. Oh, that was really fast. Cool. So we did that well within time limit.
So, Jimmy boy, here we are.
Here's where we get our revenge on Russell. Everything Russell does to stop us from hitting him is a time loss. 2 to 3 is average on the PS4 or PS2 version. I've seen up to 12. Last time I tried this run on the PS2, I had 12 time losses. We're at 2 right now. He's blocked twice. This is such an intimidating run. There's 3. Such an intimidating fight casually. But once you learn that you can just kind of mash him down, it's way less intimidating. Number 4. And we can humiliate him by tripping him. Finish him off. And that's the end of chapter 1. So 2 days of school in. Really 1 1/4 days of school in.
Ecstatic.
And we're already starting to get to the colder weather.
With Russell pacified, I could be forgiven for thinking my troubles at Bullworth were over.
Yeah, we probably won't say that in the actual run power
Peel off
armor.
one stinking
We
layer,
won't
and there's
acknowledge
another
Gary's
even
costume at all,
smellier
but
one
yes, he's a
beneath.
soldier. I mean, the whole thing, the whole first chapter, First Shadows. What's up, Brandon? How you doing, cutie? The whole first chapter kind of
Word on the street is you're something.
gives you not so subtle hints as to Gary being kind of a sociopathic antagonist, and that is where he stands up to you. If you watch the whole cutscenes during the Russell sequence we just did,
Give me a hand.
it's Russell basically saying, "Here's where I stand up to you," and you really don't see much of Russell until you actually fight him in the well, spoiler, fight him in the final battle. He's always behind the scenes. You can always almost feel him. The game does a good job as you can feel him breathing on your neck at every corner because you're always getting into antics that he starts by spreading rumors about you or getting people to fight you. So it's actually kind of interesting how the game makes you feel his presence without actually showing you him again for a very long period of time.
My pleasure to induct you.
He does make an appearance in some missions, and I'll try to call it out when you can see him. But the game very quickly removes him from those cutscenes,
I don't think you're really
even when he's on the map itself. All right, so we're failed. There's a class sequence that I was talking about. That's a very fast class to fail, and that's good to fail fast because we just want to advance game time. You can see we went from 9 a.m. to 11:30, and some missions only appear at certain times of the day. And in this chapter, some of them don't appear until nighttime. So we really wanted to advance time like we just did. The fastest way to do that is by failing class. RTA will thank us for that, our real-time attack. And this mission serves for a couple different purposes as far as teaching the player things. First of which is that bikes exist now that we're in the main map. There's a bike right there it wants me to ride, but my skateboard glitching it is actually faster than that bike, so we will not do that. Secondly, it's going to teach us that the gates have now opened to the school, because you may not have noticed in the cutscene between chapters, but the gates of the school actually open in the cutscene, allowing us access to Bullworth proper for the next set of missions. I'm going to buy the fastest bike I can possibly buy here. We're never going to spend money in this game, really, in this speedrun, so I've already gotten tons of money just through missions, and since we haven't spent any of it on anything random, we're just going to go ahead and buy the fastest bike that we can, pick it up here, to save us time on movement. Oh, and I just ran into an adult, which this is your first example of RNG shenanigans. Is the policeman getting really upset. So we're probably just going to wait inside here. One way I can counter that is, and one way to get around that threat level is actually to wait in here until your threat level reduces. So even though it's going to waste some time, I'm going to wait for that to drop below 2 bars, because when it drops below 2 bars, they're no longer going to rush at me. So being inside buildings is actually the safest place to be when you get the full threat meter. So that's how I kind of mitigate that and make it a little safer, is I can duck inside a building like this. The game just didn't know how to actually make the police spawn inside these buildings. It's just something it didn't account for, so because of that, it's not like it wanted that to be a loophole in the system, it just is. So exploited that because a lot of times NPCs will just kind of walk my way and ruin my day like that. It happens all the time. And so I need to have clever ways of getting away from them because, as I said, if they even touch me, I'm busted. And if I get busted, then I'll probably have to do an actual detention because you get the first one for free. And we use that in Chapter 1 when we bust warped in Chapter 1. But as of now, if I get busted, I actually have to do a detention, which is a couple-minute time loss, and you cannot avoid it. You cannot fail it. It is just a sad time. And that's something even in a GDQ, if it were to happen, I would have to serve the detention and then recover from there. Alright, so all we have to do is get to the next mission by 1. Really, 12:57 is when it disappears on the game clock up there, so we should be able to get there just on time. And that's why we're still in kind of time limits here.
You better use
and why waiting inside that building is okay, but if we do that twice, or if, like, it takes too long to dodge the authority, we might have to risk getting caught because the only way we can keep our class schedule tight right now is by getting to the next mission, which is up just really close to here. It takes about 5 seconds to get to. We need to get to that by the time the clock hits 1. Oh, whoa, get out of my way, get out of my way. Everyone get out of the way. All right, we got there just in time. We had about 3-4 seconds. If not, then we would just fail class again and we'd waste some more time, but it's not a big deal. It's actually not a big deal at all, even if we had to do the class and fail it. Alright, so here, English teacher is actually an alcoholic, and the math teacher hates him, so he's going to get him busted for it. And all the kids seem to love the English teacher, so our goal is to help him, instead of having the math teacher, who everyone dislikes, win this, because who likes math? I'm in a math-based field, so... We're basically collecting all the different bottles that are around the school so that we can get the English teacher help, which we do throughout the game, help him to recover from being an alcoholic. Oh, I got hit on the wall, so I'm just going to get off the skateboard at that point. Gonna let the English teacher run in, or the... Actually, I don't even think she's an actual teacher. I don't think she actually teaches anything. She's just kind of an authority figure. If she teaches something, I don't know what it is. But you're not supposed to be in the girls' restroom, you get in trouble for that, but that's where one of the bottles are held, so... We actually had to go in there. And then we give the bottles to his girlfriend, who is the art teacher, who then gives the bottles to the hobo that lives behind the school because he lives there. Hey, Zybril, what's up? Good to see you. Sorry, I've been focused on commentating for the GDQ run. How you doing, though? What's the word? You said a lot of things. And so what I just want to do there is really not forget a bottle, because sometimes I'll forget the one in the cafeteria. But as long as I don't forget a bottle, then we won't be sad there. And now we go into one of my least favorite missions in the whole entire game. It might even be my least favorite. It's actually probably not my least favorite on the PS2 version. It definitely is in the Xbox version. But of course, now the cop is angry because I'm skipping class. So sad truancy is... Oh, I did a wheelie. Now, ooh, I hit an adult as well. We're dodging the cops here for several different reasons. Oh wow.
Nice slam.
I'm tilted from the cop chasing me. Alright, we're good now. We're gonna just pick up this aquaberry sweater. Now, we picked up all the items in the grocery store. I didn't really talk about it at the time. But there is something we need to do here.
You know you should try the new
to start the mission after next. 2 things. One is to have eggs in our inventory, which we bought during the fetch quest for the cafeteria lady. And secondly is we need to be in an aquaberry vest. If we don't do those 2 things, we cannot do the next mission. Not this mission, but the mission after. So we're doing it now because now is the best time to do it. It's the least impactful. Oh, get off the bike. Thank you. Save the bike there for later. A couple of movement blunders, but a couple second time loss. Where we normally lose time is during boxing. Now, as I said, the PS2 version is way more forgiving than the Xbox one.
Maybe I can use
the Xbox One lags a lot, but the real time of the game is ticking down. So it's, in general, just harder to get 1 round boxing. And the legend run in Xbox 360 is getting all 1 round boxing, which rarely happens. It's happened like 3 or 4 times in my whole Xbox 360 career, which I've done much more than the PS2 version. But as you can see, we're gonna get unavoidable time losses in blocks and counters. Chad actually doesn't have a lot of HP. This one's very quick.
I've got a lot of money to bet on
Usually.
Knock him unconscious.
Hey, cats, no problem. We're doing this for GDQ.
My work here is
Whew,
done.
I'm a little dizzy. It's very warm in here. Normally I'd be more jokey. But for our GDQ video, we'll explain as much as we can. So this is a good time to tune in. Alright, so Justin has a lot more HP. Wow, that was a block followed by a counter followed by a block. So that's 3 time losses in a row, actually. Which is not the end of the world. As I said, I should still be able to one-round these guys on the PS2 version. I've never had a 2-round on the PS2 version. So if I get a 2-round, it would be a first. 360, it's very common. Ooh, I need to breathe. Oh, very warm in here. I'm doing this video for GDQ, so I'm going to submit this to GDQ as a speedrun I'd like to do. I've been in GDQ a couple times, but only for Earthbound. That's my main speedrun. Every other run I've ever submitted has gotten declined, but I think Bully has a chance since Bully 2 has been officially leaked. Now is the time, if any, that Bully would ever get into a GDQ. Now would be that time. Alright, go Jimmy! Oh wow, block, block, counter block. The worst sequence of time loss, but it should be fine. We actually had a really good start to this battle. Wow, this is bad though. Alright, come on Jimmy. Come on Jimmy. We lost too much time, Jimmy. So continue our streak of 1-rounds on the PS2.
$20 on the dumb look.
Alright, I won! Give me my prize!
Yep, Bully 2 has been leaked. And we all knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when, but it's been unofficially leaked.
Tell you what, old chap. We'll give you that old abandoned
Holy
beach house.
crap!
Should be nice once you clean it
That
up.
was a sub by Cats. Coming in hot. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to be my friend, and also welcome. I'm making it Facebook official. Thank you so much for that, love. So, here we go. Boxing done. We do have one more boxing match to do. And we'll actually do that towards the end of this chapter, which this chapter only takes 1 day to do.
All sorted.
We're going to go right back in here. As I said, we've already done all our prep. We have our sweater. We have our eggs. Only thing I have to be careful about here is if we get busted by a cop or a prefect, we lose all of our items. Does not apply to be getting knocked out. If we get knocked out, we keep our items, which we'll exploit several times during the speedrun. So right now, the preppies want to be my friend. They actually legitimately want to include me in the preppy squad, which is why I'm in an Aquaberry sweater. They're like, hey, you can be one of us, but you gotta dress like us, you gotta have eggs like us. But in the short time that I'm driving to, I don't know, what is the preppies? Darby's house? Gary catches up to these guys and says, hey, he says you're inbred and stuff. Which is probably true, but the point is that these guys now have a very negative opinion of me, and it only took about 20 seconds for them to develop all of that. Hey, and a cheer from Zypro. Thank you for those bits. Oh, so you've tuned in quite a bit then. You know my speed running. Alright, so all we have to do is boot that guy sneak. We get out of here. Over to the bike. That's it. Now we're going to use a skip here that we're going to use 3 times in the run. This is the first of those times. One of which is a very good time to use it, which will be during a race. We're going to skip half the course. But right now we're just going to use it to save some pathing. So we just kind of hopped over the wall there, which we're not supposed to be able to do. Carno. So I have to be very careful during this mission. Although class is about over, so we don't have to worry about truancy. Anything we do during this mission, not anything, but a lot of things we do during this mission are considered deplorable behavior and will give me the ire of the police, like stealing this bike, for example. Which is one of the objectives, is to clear out this line for Pinky, the preppy girl.
It's just not fair.
So that gets rid of all the preps. I don't know why they chase Lola. They don't even chase you, they chase Lola. They're like, no! Greaser chick! I still don't know why that's the case. But I do have to be careful. There's a random chance that a police officer will be there and will bust me for that. In which case,
I hope you think
depending on what time it is, if I have to go to class and run all the way here, or if I just go to the police station, either way, it's a couple-minute time loss at this point.
Seriously, thank you.
Doesn't really ruin the run, it just makes things a little bit more time saturated. So, how we get Eunice to leave the line for tickets, sequel to movie, by the way. Brilliant name for a movie. How do you like those emotes? I think I have some pretty nice Earthbound emotes, if I do say so myself. And then these guys are actually a couple, and they're from different factions, so they're embarrassed about it. I think it has less to do with the fact that they're homosexuals and more to do with the fact that they just are from different factions.
Been born into my social circle.
Which is,
well, I do have a few uses, you know.
Which is interesting. But it's so cute that they hold hands when they run off. It's so cute.
Nice girls like nice
Cutest couple of 2020.
Anyway, here's some money. It's
when
the
this will
least I
actually
can
be
do.
in
And it's
GQ.
Daddy's anyways. The show's about to start, but come see me sometime. We can work through these class issues we have.
Oh, I'll work through your class issues, all right,
This
sweetie.
is so cute. I can't get over how adorable that is. Because that's I think it was a jock with a bully faction. And so now we're actually prepping to have Pinky like us. She's kind of needy in the fact she takes a few missions, which most of the greasers, well, the greasers do. But besides the greasers, a lot of them don't take extra missions. But the next mission doesn't start for a while, so what we're gonna do here, first of all, we're gonna place our bike right there.
Do you have eyes in that head of yours, or is it...
As long as he doesn't steal it, we're fine. He might steal it, to be honest. Or he might attack us. We're gonna get our tickets ahead of time because our actual date with Pinky will be walking around to carnival games and collecting 10 tickets so you can buy her a teddy bear at the fun fair. But the game doesn't actually know if you've already collected 10 tickets. It's one of the things the game doesn't check. And it's kind of weird on the things the game checks for in certain circumstances and the things that it doesn't. Because you think it would just reset your tickets when you start that actual date, but it does not. So we're collecting the 10 tickets now, while the mission has not yet spawned. In doing so, it's going to be the easiest date of all time. As I say, there are worse dates out there than getting flowers, because we have to have flowers to start the mission, which we picked up at the grocery store at the beginning of this chapter. But as long as you have flowers and 10 tickets, then Pinky will be happy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
One more iteration, so we have 9 tickets right now. Yeah, he said, see ya later, boy.
Life's been hard.
So sometimes, yeah, you can't bring a bike in here, so sometimes skateboard glitching is still going to be the favorable way to get around.
Now, any of you folks watching?
Alright, so we have our 10 tickets.
Good. That's all there is to it. Come on.
Oh, whoa, gates. Turn around. So actually the other mission just spawned a second ago. Which is normal. Normally I don't get there right as the mission spawns. It's kind of hard to do. Or impossible, I don't know. I'm doing the class first.
Collect that. Listen, pal, help a poor desperate fella out.
I will not help a poor desperate fellow. Oh!
Really laying.
So basically, mission and bike
Yes.
buttons are the same. So with that guy standing over the mission, I wasn't able to get completely on it, so he just went on the bike instead.
So.
Here's our actual date. It is intense. Let's see if you can get the pun. Because the date itself is not actually intense, but it is intense. Oh. Do not brake pump when you're hitting curbs. That's how you brake glitch, or bike glitch, and you go in random directions. At this point, this bike is kind of useless to us, so we're just going to kind of like zoom it in an opposite direction. We don't need it.
Where is that crazy
You'll
chick?
win me a teddy bear, won't you, Jimmy?
What's that? All she wants is a teddy bear. We already have the tickets.
Hey! Excellent choice, son.
And the date's over. Very intense.
Cool. Thanks, Jimmy. It's so cute. Thanks for a great date, Jimmy.
We're gonna use a boop.
Oh, wow, Jimmy. You really
I bet you that's a good way to see splicing too, old assassin. Audio glitches are great ways to find cheaters. Oh wow, where's an adult? I actually need an adult. There he is. Alright, so
Okay, cop getting pain coming right up.
we need to get the ire of the cop. For whatever reason, I was just getting... That was a huge... Well, not a huge time loss. It was a moderate time loss because I was booping that adult to get full threat meter, but it wasn't giving me full threat meter. And instead, Damien, who is one of the toughest jock guys, was just beating on me. He was just having a good old time using me as a punching bag while I tried to get the IO's place. Why, were you embarrassed by my intense pun? Get it? Because I got a bear. There. Yeah, you can hate me. It's fine. It's fine. I deserve your hatred. So, a long time ago, and by that I mean at the start of this chapter, I left the bike in the center area here. It was the bike from the garage.
I got you in my sights.
The game expects you to use the bike it provides for the race, but if you leave a bike nearby, you can just get on the bike you left. And since I used random world spawn bikes instead of the bike from my garage, it's still in the place I left it. Because it tracks like your bike, which is from the garage, where it is on the map. Unless you re-get it from the garage itself, it'll stay where you last left it. So, I left that there a long time ago, but since it's still there, I'm going to use it for this race. And that's one of 3 ways I'm going to cheat in this race. I'm going to use a bike that is way faster than everyone else's.
My servants
Number
are
1.
more impressive than you, and don't worry about those.
Number 2 is I'm going to brake glitch throughout it. So I'm going to tap the brake at certain intervals, especially on hard surfaces, so that I get that little speed boost. And when I do it, you're going to hear a skirt. But then also, at the same time, you're going to see like the screen kind of flip out and go a little faster. Like right here. A skirt, and then all of a sudden I zoom off. So these guys have no chance to catch me. And the game actually has a built-in... Oh. Whoa. That was weird. That was just a glitch. The game actually has a built-in catch-up mechanism for these guys, so they'll never actually fall that far behind. It's kind of like Mario Kart, where... Well, broken Mario Karts, where the NPCs always catch up to you no matter what. It just keeps respawning them in back of you. This game does that. But they'll never actually catch me, even when the game gives them like the automatic boost, because again, I'm cheating. That's number 2. There's a third way I'm going to cheat, actually. And the third way is I'm going to skip pathing, which includes full triggers. Like, it's not intended because the game actually specifies the route you're supposed to take. But I'm going to ignore that at certain intervals. Like right here, I'm going to skip a couple of those triggers right here. Which that one may have even been intended, but I guarantee you the next one was not. The next one is going to be that same cliff skip that I did earlier, only during a race, so I'm going to skip about 20 seconds of just pure pathing. As long as I hit it, which I did. And the race is over! Because of cheating. Yeah, Cats, that's you ain't lying.
Good job. Sweet.
The hardest part
Come by and see me anytime.
about this game is the pathing because of the San Andreas engine. Hey, happy late birthday, Zybril. 18, you're an adult. Now you're legal. Now I can wink at you.
That was
And flirt and stuff. No, but congratulations. My birthday's soon as well.
Yeah,
But I'm old, so it
you
doesn't
wanna
matter.
get a C785.
Rubber band racing, that's a good word for it, Cats. Actually, I didn't really even know the official term for it. Just like I didn't know railing until like a couple streams ago when someone said auto-scrolling in 3D games is called railing in. I'm like, okay. It took me way too long to know that term because no one ever corrected me before. And it seemed to be common, everyone else seemed to know it, it's just no one ever corrected me on it before. So, sometimes I don't know the cool terms. Oh, well that's a first. Getting stunned and then kicked off the actual railing. Oh! So this is a considerable time loss. Wow! Is this creature doing anything? Jesus Christ! I don't know how much that one kid lost in time, but it was a lot. I'm actually worried about getting knocked out. Oh, why isn't that he? Oh my word! Yeah, that was awful. Very rare luck. Got knocked off the whole entire balcony. I was worried for my health on that one because then with that guy had what seemed like 0 HP left. Like he had nothing left in his bar, but he was still attacking me. And in fact, at one point he just kind of hit me and fell over. If you didn't notice that, I don't even know what just happened. He like knocked himself out. He got winded and he was so low in life he just like fell over. Whoops, that was way too bad of a bike movement. I tried to get too clever on that one. I'll just take the time loss on this one.
Learn to walk.
I need to reset my brain. That tilted me a bit. That was some weird RNG.
I'm sorry. Think I'm dumb?
And then that guy gave me a backwards hug. The same guy that knocked me off the bridge. Egg on my face, big disgrace. Back hugging me all over the place. We will prep you. So even with the loading screen advantage, yeah, that was an obvious time loss on that mission. Actually, it wasn't that bad. I just like complaining about it. That was interesting. All right. Here we're getting back at the preps for picking on us so much. We're actually going to ruin Mother's favorite Maplethorpe, which we will not comment on in GDQ. We don't need people looking that up.
Yeah, it's all over the couch.
But basically, he's going to complain that you're getting egg all over his surfaces, which is the intent of the mission.
Someone find him!
So that they leave you alone. Actually, really, at this point, you know, I think it's basically more than even said that you are provoking them into this fight that's upcoming. You want to get them mad enough where they're going to make a mistake.
I know you're out there. Someone find him! Dear God, it's all over the wall! Oh no! Mother's favorite Maplethorpe!
Mother's favorite Maplethorpe. Alright. Last time we're going to do that nice little skip on the boundary here. Right now.
You can count on Jimmy.
I hear you can count on Jimmy. That was actually a really fast mission. I thought I was going to get hit by one of the preppies, but Russell did his job. Remember, Russell now is our friend. Ever since we beat him up, that faction now likes us, so Russell helped us out on that mission, and in fact, he's the unsung hero because he stopped a guy from tackling me to the ground. You just didn't see it because it was behind me. It's an auto-scroller, but it's also a rail-in, as I've learned. It's starting to snow. This is technically day 3 of school, I guess you could say. Oops, I could have just crashed and started that mission. But here's our last boxing sequence. Now there's actually no, don't Google Maple, don't do that.
You and me,
please.
Biff.
I don't even mention it in GDQ run because I don't want people Googling that. He's an artist, it's actual art. It's just not the type of art you want to look up, normally. It has a very niche audience. Alright, so, it's the last boxing sequence of the game. Again, I've never had a O2 round in the PS version, so I ain't scared of Biff. There's a couple things here that you will never see casually, or you will have never done casually, and I can almost guarantee it. So if you ever played this casually, and you're familiar with this mission, then you'll know that after I finish this boxing, I'm going to have to fight my way through tons of preps until I get to Darby, and then I fight Darby. Now here's the thing that you don't know, is that you can actually go in the other door where you started the mission for the original egging mission. You don't have to fight any of these preps in front of you. That's number one thing people are shocked about when they see this in the speedrun. Second thing is you can take a bat, or you can take a stick in here with you. So you can go backwards, and also make this battle a lot easier by taking in a weapon.
Hiding behind your friends.
Alright, what's up, Bio? How was work today?
The assets I have, and you don't. Friends.
Just shut up, Darby.
Here's some more tactics for you, poor boy.
So I still want to close these things. I don't want Darby like running off. Derby. Is it Derby or Darby? I thought they always said Darby. Okay, never mind. He's in my way, so we are gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Maybe. I can't even freaking do that. Can you, Jimmy? Jimmy, please, for the love of God, pick up the stick. Jimmy. I might get KO'd here. Jimmy, pick up the stick! Jimmy's not picking up the stick, guys. And now he's not closing this. Nothing's working for us. Why did he stop?
Alright, idiot. Let's go.
That wasn't fun at all.
Jimmy. You're killing me, Jimmy. Literally. So normally this would not be as difficult as it just was.
Give up on those dreams of becoming a boxer.
No, I'm not even on an SSD. I'm now on PS3, which is the fastest way to do it. So this is the PS3
now, Darby is
version.
really stupid, malevolent, and rich. So it will surprise none of you to discover.
Jimmy was killing me on that one. He refused to pick up that stick. It would have been faster to just not get it.
This is my story, not his. With the
All right, chapter 3.
babies under control,
this is where we take on the
it's time to
greasers.
turn
It kind of increases in difficulty, although I would kind of rate the
greaseball
preps as a tougher challenge than the greasers, because at least the greasers are straightforward battles. The preps always dodge you, they juke, they're boxers, so they kind of fancy themselves on being artists as much as fighters. Why is there a girl in the boys' dorm? I just heard a girl scream. There's not supposed to be a girl in the boys' dorm. It's supposed to be impossible. I mean, I have had that happen before, but not really often. But it's not like you didn't even see her. You just heard the scream of her being like, I took a wrong turn. I zoned out a little bit on that one, is what that scream said. This mission can be kind of a pain in the butt. So what we're gonna do is photograph Johnny's girlfriend being unfaithful with one of the preps, which are their mortal enemies, by the way. And I don't know, I kind of had bad luck in this mission a lot in the past where this dog shows up and starts biting my heel, and then sometimes the dog will actually juke me and make me hit adults, and then the cops will bust me. Like, there's been some really, like, waterfall, like cards, dominoes falling situations that have happened with this dog. So my biggest fear here, I joke that dog is really just a cat wearing a dog suit, because there's no way a good boy would do this. And he does appear on occasion. Okay, there's our holding hands. Now need to make sure them get exchanging gifts, because of course the preps are rich. So he woos her with gifts, and now we need to watch him smooch.
For me? Oh, thank you.
We're gonna wait for him to kind of round the corner so we don't get in trouble or they don't see me.
Hey there, hot stuff.
All right, that was actually pretty flawless this time. I can't really complain about any of my RNG on that one. But of course, the police now is chasing me because remember, I am skipping class, and truancy is a serious offense in this world.
Here are the pictures, Johnny. Lola's a bit of a slut, it seems.
Welcome back, Armor. And this only enrages Johnny, who has kind of a temper, as we'll learn. So you can see I got destroyed by that dog last time I PV'd on this, which is why there's 3 minutes of time save here. There should not be 3 minutes of time save. A little bit more of a truancy scare. Let's go. You're always down with the greaser chick? Well, cats, she's yours to claim. Beatrice is already spoken for, so is Eunice. She's on my wall. You can have Lola. Alright, so in this one we're gonna debate our friend over here. We got the good RNG where he actually went down the side alley instead of away from the eventual place we need to lead him. Because if you get unlucky, he'll go backwards. Whoop, we're gonna break glitch. We got, whoa, got egged. I don't know why, like, rich people use eggs. I don't know why that's a status symbol, but it is, because apparently only rich people.
Failed again.
That is obviously something I could never control. This is completely random. They usually don't have firecrackers. But if anything, I may get knocked out here. Holy crap. So never mind. That is the type of RNG where now I get to show how to recover bad RNG, because holy crap. He was throwing a firecracker at me, missed me, and hit his buddy. Just want to be clear on what just happened there. So again, that's freak RNG that I couldn't even plan. Like, even if I tried to do that 2 million times going forward, I could not. That was just freak RNG. Holy crap. Missed me and hit his buddy. And he's not even supposed to have firecrackers. Oh, he does again! Please no. Not like this. I got debated on that one.
Well, hello, Gord. Seems like you've been messing where you ought not.
No, cousins are legal.
So that was the first and the second time I've seen firecrackers there. And you're actually at risk of getting knocked out on this one because, wow, there's an inventory glitch. I'm being inventory glitched right now. There we go. Which means I couldn't change items to the one that I needed. Ooh, direct hits. Oh, 3 direct hits. Good thing he had a soda on him because the greasers and the preps both aim for me, usually. Which is stupid because the greasers know I'm helping them. But for some reason, the greasers will target you in this. Which is very rude. Because if we all worked together, we could have made this mission a lot faster. So we lost about a minute on that bad RNG. Fortunately, my first egging, getting his attention and going there was extremely fast. So even though we had to restart the mission, we didn't lose that considerable amount of time.
I always knew I could do it.
Now, this doesn't mean we get to skip class. We'll have to move time forward with the class again in this chapter. But unfortunately, losing time there does not prevent that from being the case. Normally, you could be like, maybe you wasted enough time for that. No. We still need to push time forward within the speedrun, or else we're going to lose time. But not yet. We'll do that after this next mission. Truancy again is taken very seriously. Although class is about to get out, actually, for that class.
Amigo!
Power armor. Dude, that'd be so nice. Can we actually set that up? Like, can we set up like an Uber Eats that doesn't make you all know my address? Oh wow, see, this is exactly what I mean, is literally class gets out in 2 seconds, and I lost. By the time he would have busted me, class was over. That's just bad luck. I can't always control where prefects exist. That was just a glitch on the skateboard. In winter, you have worse controls. Oh. And of course, with all this distraction, I actually wasted a ton of time here, because I have to actually go over here and get help from this dude's friend. Which Gary's right here, by the way. He only shows up for a second. But I'm going to tap Gary so to make that cutscene happen a little faster. Kind of got to... Oh. Get out of the way! So, glitch plus all the things that have been happening, I've been kind of tilted. I didn't waste that much time, but I did waste time. I had to go back and talk to, what's his face? Cornelius, I believe is that kid's name. And then Cornelius was kind of tanking the damage there. He wouldn't give me a clear shot, so I wasted a little more time. But we're refocused. We're good. Slight time losses. It's not like I lost minutes or anything. It's just slight time losses. But we'll grab this bike here. It's one of the fastest that always randomly spawns. I say randomly loosely, but... Oh, and I hit an adult. Fortunately, it did not give me the full threat meter because I pulled back. Depending on how hard you hit the adult, it will give you full threat meter. We do definitely want this TNT. Well, we're full, so we don't actually need it. Well, yeah, we needed some. Well, no, it's maximum capacity, so never mind. But we want to make sure because we're going to need it to get out of the next class efficiently, which will be after this mission. And then here's where we're in another rail-in, which is what Odd here said was what he called auto-scroller as well, which I didn't feel as bad about not knowing rail-in after he said that, but it is a rail-in. Oh, and I'll take the pad thai, by the way. Pad thai with, let's go with shrimp and beef. Can we double meat that? Is that too much? Am I being too needy?
Just try not to crash into anything, Chad. One down.
I don't want the gluten. I'll eat the pad thai. It's made from rice, fun fact, not from wheat. And that's really true for any Asian place where you order pad thai, unless it makes some janky off-brand pad thai. But the point of pad thai is to have rice noodles, not wheat noodles. And I don't eat gluten. Not because of an allergy or because of an insensitivity or something like that. It's because gluten is in a lot of things that build brown body fat, and I don't want brown body fat. I have a six-pack, okay? I'm 33 years old in a week, and I still have a six-pack. If I ate bread, that would not be the case.
Quit slacking!
Who messed my bike up?
The sooner you can cut out junk food from your life, the happier you will be throughout your life. Don't get healthy for vanity reasons. I mean, you can. I do it for partially vanity reasons. But the vanity reason is I have more confidence when I feel like I'm in good shape. So, and it's easier to stay in shape, keep your youthful shape. Because I'm looking at you. You're still within your fast metabolism years. And it's easier to keep that through your 20s than to try to get it back, because if you try to get it back in your 30s, it will be near impossible.
It's a trap! It's a trap!
So,
Chad, step
I started working on my figure at 23. It's been almost a decade since I've been working out and eating right. And that was way easier than starting way later. Lesson for the kids. You can start before 20, that's even better. You'll keep your youthful form your whole life with minimal effort. Because when I was 23 and I started doing it for the first time, I wanted to get like a really good body. It took 5 years to get a really good body, even in my mid-20s. You lose that like carb-burning furnace of a metabolism extremely fast. And by the time you realize it's happened, it's too late. So, as I said, even starting in your mid-20s is still doable, but it sucked. It took 5 years of dedication to get like the body I liked.
We're nearly there, Jimmy. Just hold them off a little longer.
How old are you, cats?
You can thank me for saving you.
I'll know your pain. Instead, I'm approaching my mid-30s. I know the pain. The struggle's real. Although staying in shape, even in your 30s, is not hard. I'm the laziest person at working out you could ever imagine, but my diet's immaculate, and I know what lifts to do for my body efficiently. And so I remain around the 10% body fat with really no effort. So that's why I say, no matter what you do, just do it early. Because then when you get to your 30s, you can still stay on kind of autopilot.
Done and done right.
I can't wait.
You ever give a kid a swirl?
And people still can't guess my age because I still got that youthful glow.
Go to class.
I will not go to class. Alright, so here's where we learn to tag. This is one of the last tutorials, actually. I can't say that for sure it's the last, I don't really remember, but this is where it teaches you how to tag, which is one of the last skills you get. Yeah, drinking will do it. If you really want to drop midsection fat, you should avoid especially beer, which is just liquid bread. I mean, I avoid like all like wheat-based products because it's just like quick digesting sugar. It's not even for like allergy or anything reasons or sensitivity reasons. Now, something you'll notice when you do cut out bread is you do digest things a lot easier. Higher fiber diets are great for your digestive system. And then when you try to go back on bread, like I'll eat bread on occasion, but man, it hurts. It sounds like a brick literally passing through your intestines when you're not used to eating bread. And that just goes to show that like eating bread is something we've adapted, not something that's innate for us humans. Because it's not fun to digest if you're not used to it.
What are you doing there, Mr. Tom Sawyer?
Kind of like when like people who like cut out milk get like a weird form of lactose intolerance just because they're not used to digesting it anymore. Exactly what avoiding wheat is like. Because I mean, in all of human history, we developed the ability to process lactose not that long ago. The Mongolians really started that, which is how they really were able to conquer so much of the world, is because the rest of the world couldn't compete with their food source. They always had two horses, one they rode and one they milked. So like literally like most of their diet was fat and protein because they could digest it and no one else could. So if you ever wonder what led to, oh, nope, drop. But if you ever wonder what led to the Mongolian success, it's that lactose gene, which is actually relatively new to humanity, which is why you lose the ability to process it over time if you don't keep up on your lactose. Oh, I forgot to do the freaking mission. Oh well, it's not a big deal. I did forget to go to class though, which will hurt us a little bit. Since we did waste some time earlier, it's not gonna hurt us extensively, but it will hurt us some. The bike here is not just for the next mission, but also if I do have to go get another bike, it's because someone stole it instead of beating me up. And interrupting paint is a very big time loss, whereas having to go get my bike again really isn't. So that's why I'm not too worried about the whole bike. It's just, this main job is to protect me from greasers that are mad at me for tagging. I'm surprised that guy is not going after me or the bike. That's really weird.
Somebody is gonna get their freaking lights knocked out. Who could?
Oh yeah, run down. No, you're right. I mean, honestly, I don't think they're gonna watch this whole. If they did and they were listening to this, I'm sorry, GDQ. Y'all already know the type of commentary I bring to a GDQ run. Oh, my bike's right here. So I feel like I can stray a little bit, but yes, I should stick to commentating the run. You're right. And when you're right, you're right. But health warnings for the kids are good too. The car didn't randomly spawn, it just took a while for the textures to load, I would say.
Love is
So here we go, another race with a bike faster than everyone else's.
We don't have to worry about this.
This bunch of mama's boys got nothing.
Yeah, not everyone in the world has lactose intolerance, but now I'm back to the race, or to the commentary. So here in this race, it's just like the other one. You can see they all have mountain bikes with pegs and everything, like straight up mountain bikes. And here I am in my cruiser. I'm gonna cruise to a bruise. Because basically, we need to end this chapter right after Christmas, which the PS2 Christmas is only one mission, unlike the 360 version, which is a whole slew of missions. That's one of the expansions they did in the 360 version, and because of that, I need to, after not this mission, but the one after it, we'll really have to wait till 7 in order to go to sleep, and after we sleep, then we'll be able to finish up this chapter. So, basically what I'm saying, since we didn't go to class, we'll have to wait for 7 p.m. so we can go to sleep. But Jimmy, of course, once 7 hits, you'll see a guy that has nothing bad on his conscience. Like, again, he's not a bully. If he thought he was, how does he sleep so well? Like, when he hits the sheets, he is out. Babies wish they slept that well. Whoops, did I go down the wrong path? I may have gone down the wrong path. It's fine. Definitely want to go left on this one, or else I would reach a dead end that would hurt my race potential. Of course, for some reason, these greasers knock down trees to try to stop me, because that makes so much sense. It's like they're not even like thick trees. They're like trees that literally, if you just keep on riding your bike, you'll just go over. It doesn't stop you at all. I really don't understand the point of the tree thing in this race. Like, if you're gonna try to sabotage it, like, use an invisible wire and, like, trip me up, do something, but, like, the tree is not even a speed bump. Like, look, watch. Watch. It does nothing, the tree. Like, Alright, we're gonna kind of go around the trash can. You heard that crash by the trash can? That was someone running into it. Which would have been me if I'd gone down that path. Anyone who's played this game casually has probably gone down that path and hit that dang orange trash can right at the end and then lost the race because of it. Because whoever's first seems to always hit that trash can. But I just avoid the alleyway altogether because someone's gonna be hitting that trash can. It ain't gonna be me. This is a PS2 version on the PS3, yes. And it's a great game, especially casually. I don't even begin to show you the coolest parts of this game in the speedrun. Which, for example, like all the classes that you have to do is one of the best parts. And that's why I really recommend the Scholarship Edition. If you're gonna play one, even though it's a little janky, it's a little buggy. End of the day, it has more classes, and classes are one of the funnest parts about this game because they all have little tiny like sub games you do for different benefits and perks. And doing the classes makes it all worth it. So 360 version for the classes. The Santa Claus missions are kind of annoying if anything, so I can't recommend it for that.
It's latrine duty.
Why are you yelling at my bike? But definitely get classy. Ooh. Alright, the tenements. Basically here, Lola
You better get out.
likes us now, but the greasers aren't very happy about that, or with her in general, because she's been cheating
I'm all geared up.
with everybody, really.
I can use that.
So I was the last straw that kicked her out of the tenements, which is where she's living, I think? I don't really know for sure why she has stuff here, but it's one of their hangouts. We're gonna use marbles to trip up greasers that are gonna chase me pretty aggressively. That's why I picked up the marbles during the last race.
Boys, it's
You
Jimmy.
may have missed it, I didn't really comment on it.
I'm gonna smoke your butt with my boot.
Especially when they have sticks.
Just getting more.
Oh, I can't move. I literally cannot
I'm
move.
hitting you. I'm gonna sit on you.
Cool. What was I saying? I don't know. Especially if that sticks. Oh yeah, then they don't slow down. They don't have a tired meter, which normally all NPCs will.
Whoa, what
But for some reason the stick wasn't coded to make them get tired, so they
trash.
sprint right behind you as fast as you do.
That's
They
what
don't
I
even have
have
it.
to do.
They're faster than they normally are too,
I
so
just love
it's easier to
breaking
just throw
things with
marbles
my
behind
hands.
you and let them trip up. And when they trip, they'll drop their sticks as well, so everybody wins. Alright. I don't have enough M80s to actually finish this battle, but if one drops, there, which, did that? What did I get? I think I must have got spray paint. One more chance. Nope. Alright, so yes, we'll be using our slingshots the rest of the way without spray paint. Did not get the quick kill there, but quick, well, he's not dead. Quick knockout there. And now we have to get the rest of Lola's stuff. Fun fact that I learned the hard way the first time I ran the PS2 version. There's one other item that requires you to bust through a wall to get in the PS2 version that is not in the 360 version. So you cannot drop your hammer after getting this one. You have to carry your hammer all the way through. Something that, again, I learned the hard way.
This might come in handy.
By losing my hammer. Now I can drop the hammer.
Look at that.
Well, Zyro, I recommend this one. PS4 version is the PS2 version, however, it obviously it's hard drive based. So you'd be playing on your hard drive, which is slower than the PS3's hard drive because of all the bloatware the PS4 has. But you can definitely download it and play it, and I definitely recommend you do that.
Thanks, honey. You're great.
Hey, well, welcome. First time talking. Savika. Savikam Gast? I'm sure it's in a different language. I'm mispronouncing it, and I apologize in advance for
My
that.
work here is
Oh wow, there's a moped there. I could actually take that if I wanted to.
take you down.
Here's where we wait until 7. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna. Oh, well. I mean, or there's that. Or there's that. So I actually could mitigate some time here by going and getting my bike. Well, anyways. Oh, it might have been a spam guy. Which, thank you, moderator, if you destroyed a spam link. Appreciate moderators. The unspoken heroes. I'm going to. I don't pay you all enough. Remind me to give you all raises. 10% raises for all moderators. Hey, what's up, Raging? How you doing? Just in time for a 10% raise. Now we wait till 7. We were like, since we didn't go to class, this is why we have to wait around now. It will waste time. We're gonna lose a couple minutes here because of that. It's fine. Hashtag it's fine. How's everyone doing? I said mods, not actual employees of mine bio. Read the fine print. All employees in chat right now of mine all get 10% deductions from their paycheck for being smartasses.
I don't understand why the world can't live
Alright, so here's back to the commentary for GDQ. This is when I have to actually go to sleep. We'll go out of our waiting mode and back to GDQ mode. GDQ mode here says we have to wait till 7 to actually go to bed, but when we do, we crash hard. And then Christmas starts, and the reason why we have to sleep there is to trigger the Christmas mission, which we have to do before the final mission of this chapter. So I think, needless to say here, from my description, this is almost over, this chapter of it, the game. But we gotta go get our sweet sweater yet. I'm gonna save a little bit of time on this mission because I have the bike because I had to wait. So since I had to wait for this mission to start, or to go to sleep for this mission to start, I just grabbed the bike and brought it over here, which will actually save me time. Because normally if I was on the proper schedule, I would have taken the bus back to save real time.
Too many romance books.
So, still plenty of time to save. Don't let that time loss fool ya. We're in a good position here. Incoming gold. Now time for the final greaser mission, which is 2 parts. We have to go back to the greaser tunnel, which always seems to be where these starting points are. Now I'm gonna actually leave my bike right about here. I hope no one steals it. If someone steals it, then that's bad. We lose time on that gambit.
Huh, there he is.
If our bike is still there, then we save time because we have to chase Peanut. And for some reason, it's not there. Oh, yes, it is. I almost predicted it correctly. Oh, he hit he was aiming for me and hit the prep. Because it wants you to chase Peanut, but like if you don't have a bike, it's like, why are you being so slow when chasing Peanut? Like, oh, maybe because he's on a bike and I'm not. But the game's kind of rude in that way. So I'm happy to have the bike. You can go around the back side of the alleyway. You don't have to follow Peanut into the front end of the alley. Oops. Alright, so at this point we need to not take more damage. Where's my stick of truth? Where's the stick of truth? Pick up the stick. Why does he not want to grab sticks today? Today's theme is sticky situations. Alright, so depending on how much random HP I have at the start of the next battle, I may have to run and get a soda pop right at the start of the battle. Hey, what's up, 7 Second? Good to see you, buddy.
Who won? Me.
Yeah, we'd be clubbing in this run, but Jimmy doesn't like the club apparently.
You learn to keep your hands off my girl.
So from what I can tell is how much HP you have at the start of the next section is 100% random. I still don't know. I figure there has to be some sort of algorithm that decides where your HP is starting the final battle of this chapter. I just can't seem to figure out what that is. So, like, look at this. I have almost full HP, and there's time where I'm yellow, where I have like literally 10% of my HP. So like, I honestly don't know what the algorithm is, but right now I don't even need soda because the game stacks so much HP. After that last battle, I went from red to green. How to become a millionaire in one easy step. Random luck. Best track. If you don't believe it is, fight me. And if you haven't looked up this track on YouTube yet, after me saying that a million times, you should listen. Like, it's going to be your favorite track too.
Get out of here!
Let me deliver the truth of this track into your ear holes and into your heart. Alright, cats. Thanks for hanging out and keeping me entertained. You're a legend. I'll see you next time, my friend.
Hey, Jimmy.
Thanks for that sub earlier.
Let me clean that spot on your face.
Alright.
All right, boys, good work.
Alright. Alright. There we go. Get him moving. Well, let's go ahead and get Stink Bomb guy out of the way quickly.
Watch out, Jimmy.
Alright, now we just play the waiting game. And sometimes he doesn't actually want to come to the,
I'm coming for you.
oh, like that. See how he dodged the magnet? He does that for me a lot. There we go.
I'm still gonna beat
Let's see how you do in an even fight.
Even fight time! And if you think I'm saying that facetiously, I am, because this is maybe not only not even, unfair, but at the same time, probably would permanently damage you. Your eyeballs. It's a spray paint.
I told you, I was the daddy. Got it?
Got it. What's up, Xander? Dude, how's Canada?
I'm starting to feel pretty good about myself. I've just taken control of 2 of the school's worst clicks.
Cyvril, you have to
but
listen to the full thing though. You don't get the full effect of that track unless you listen to the official version, start to finish, all 3.5 glorious minutes of it.
The thing is, Pete, now that
Jimmy, forgive me, but I gotta go.
Alright, here's where we take on the nerds. Power armor! Dude, I appreciate you. Also, there are some weird quotes in there. It still shocks me how many dumb things we've said as a community, but that aside,
maybe a loser, but at least
man, I want to talk to you guys. I won't do GDQ commentary. But no, this is where we start to face the nerds. Now, the nerds only get 1 mission, and it's a 2-part mission, but they only get 1 of them. Because in general, you've worked with the nerds this whole entire game, so it just figures
you're not getting in without the key.
that you know by now how to interact with these.
Okay, it's 1138. Why not?
Apparently that's a Star Wars reference, as Agent Malice has told me. I did not know that. That's news to me. I'm definitely using it in GDQ though. How many, whoops, how many dynamites do I have? I need enough to party here. I forgot to pick up the first one, but that one will be fine. Oh, wow, direct hit. Oh wow, another direct hit. I swear, this never happened in the 360. These guys are freaking sharpshooters in the PS version, because like in the 360 version, I don't think I've ever been hit by an item. But I've been hit every single PlayStation time I've done this by one of those items. I think bomb's kind of a wide area effect. You told me about the 1138 Star Wars reference. Oh, he's not down. So this is a terrible design. I can't hit it for some reason. It's not turning red. Oh, still not turning red. Come on. I'm at the mercy of the target turning red on that one, but still, bad design. I don't know who would put the one fail-safe in your system in plain view of any attackers. What? Nerds! Nerds! I'm not taking their medicine today. Alright, sometimes you can YOLO this. I'd say most of the time it's okay even if you YOLO this section, but that's not very good marathon strategies. I'm going to be safe and kind of at least take out these nerds on the top here. Wow, those guys both broke their ankles. And that guy ran inside. Now at this point I can basically YOLO shoot through the rest of it. There's only 2 left. They need a lot of direct hits. They're a very inaccurate weapon in order to actually destroy me. So I can just basically bot my way through that one. See, apparently everyone knows that except for me, but I didn't know that until Agent Malice told me.
Ernest, what are you doing? Give
But
it
now
up,
I know.
You work for me.
Can't we all just get along? No, we can't because you're a bastard.
That's a lot of people's favorite line. A lot of people love that line for some reason. Now, I don't mind losing health here. I actually need to. So any health I lose will go towards my blood warp. I'm going to get down to about 50%, so because I didn't pick up the first M80 spawn on that path. So I do want to get at least low enough health where it only takes 1 M80 to finish me off.
No one appreciates an intelligent personality around here. No one. It isn't fair.
Okay, there we go. Perfect amount of health. Things are looking ulty. Alright, 2 of us didn't know. Okay, I don't feel as bad now. Whole farm, right? They got more potatoes in Ireland. I don't know what's going on with these potatoes. Alright, where's my M80s? There they are. Alright, so what I want to do here is hit myself while jumping. That seems to multiply the damage for some reason. I have no idea why. And now we can go take on the athletes for the first time. So now the nerds are our friends. Basically, the athletes are the only ones that are not our friends now in the whole entire game. Everybody else we're cool with. They won't attack me on sights. They'll help me out if I need it. That's kind of where you're leading towards. Is all these cliques are kind of picking on you one by one.
Hey, Pete. Yo,
and so you inadvertently have to put them in their place, and then you become friends. We have to go to the fun fair for that. I don't know why I call it the fun fair, because I heard it once and it made me giggle, so now I call it the fun fair instead of the circus. Apparently, at one point or another in the timeline of humanity, it was called the fun fair. So why not? Alright, a random world spawn bike. Maybe. He's glitched out right now. Sometimes he'll soft lock momentarily while he wants to get on a bike, like he can't remember how. It's kind of like when you walk into a room and you forget why you walked into the room. That's what that moment is for Jimmy. But we don't actually need this bike after we use it to get to the fun fair. So, I'm definitely going to just abandon it here. We'll bop our way back. We bust warps. Oh, nope. Wow. Cool. I tried to go through the other gate since there was an athlete in that one, but Jimmy decided, since it's the same button to go through the gate as it is to get on the bike, Jimmy decided that getting on the bike was more important for his current state of affairs. Intense. Yes, this is intense as well.
Please, I have nervous bowels.
Wow, where are the athletes? There he is. Potato boys. Boys will be boys. Hashtag.
I'm so glad you.
Because apparently potato gunning
The jocks have taken over.
is just a mild annoyance.
Gotta get us out of here.
Alright, we need more M80s. There's 2 glitches in a row here. One of which is an invincibility glitch. As long as I don't mistime things, I can actually go through these sites without taking damage. Well, I mean, without getting hit. I'm supposed to get stunned when I hit them, but as you can see, I took damage but didn't stun. And here, I'm glitching out the whole entire system by getting through this cutscene without going through the cutscene. And there's no time to explain, as the split says, but basically, it's a glitch that takes advantage of the old PS2 engine and having to load on anything you wanted to actually be relevant on screen. You had to load it into data, into memory.
Let's see what this does.
And so while you're in the cutscene there, of them running past the sites,
What's this?
Somebody save me.
trying to think of how to explain this, how I explained it last time.
Your task
The
is
game can only
complete, brave
make them
knight.
appear by loading them into memory, and it does that by putting them in front of you in the cutscene. So, by randomly YOLO throwing M80s, I can actually hit them loaded in memory, but I'm not, like, I don't know, words are hard. Basically, oh word. Basically, I don't have to do the cutscene. Oh, can you stop, dude? You've had your time, you've had your time in the sun. That guy was annoying, wasn't he? He did not want to go softly into that good night. I wouldn't really want to be pistol whipped by a potato gun I was just shot by either, but look, it's gotta happen, buddy.
You know you deserve it. Thanks.
I need to practice on how to explain that because it's a very technical glitch to actually explain. But essentially, the game has to load them into memory and you're in a cutscene. Wow, these guys are really coming after me today. Usually they don't lead with their heads like that. But I mean, they're still getting potato gunned.
Thanks.
Fortunately, all these guys drop sodas, so it's not really that big of a deal.
Maybe she's like a prophet.
Now we gotta collect Bucky and Fatty, as we said. I'm just assuming that that's short for Fatima. I mean, I think that's normally a female name, but that's the only thing I can come up with of why his name's actually short to Fatty, because Fatty's definitely a shortening of whatever name he has.
Complete, brave knight.
Fatimus? Fatimus Decimus? Meridius? I don't know. But in the game, his name is Fatty. It's not making fun of him, I swear.
Another job
It's
well
just
done.
his name. Oh, there's a girl. That'll work. So we need to boop her so that we bust warp back to the bus stop, because this takes us all the way to Bulworth Town. And then that puts us pretty close to a bus stop. And that allows us to cutscene back to the university. And now we get to sleep. Sleeping's good here. We can't do all the missions here during nighttime, so in order to do all the missions we have the rest of this chapter, we're gonna have to reset the clock, which means we're gonna have to complete this chapter in 2 days instead of 1. Well, basically, I'm exploiting the fact that you cannot bully authority or people weaker than you. It basically gives you the full threat meter, GTA style. So I've explained that a couple times during the run, but essentially what happened there is I'm basically telling the game I want to be busted, and there's no way out of it once you do something that violent. It's just going to happen. But I can use that to my advantage in certain scenarios like that. I do want marbles here. And marbles have a very specific purpose, and it's to fight the mascot. Rats and mascots have one thing in common: they cannot tolerate marbles. They'll lose their marbles when you present them with marbles. Oh, this is discretion assured. I didn't need to take my bike all the way out there. Oh well, it already happened. Get the extra potatoes.
Oh, Hopkins, good to see you. Make it quick.
Wait, what power armor? I missed the joke. I think I just read it too late to know what was going on. Alright, so in this one, basically this is where we find out that Ernest, our class president by the way, if you remember in chapter 1 we defended him, he's kind of a pervert. He's gonna have us... He doesn't tell you why, that's how he manipulates you into doing it. Like Jimmy, no one claims Jimmy is super smart. But he's like, I need it for reasons, and it'll all become clear later. And Jimmy's like, okay,
One day you'll get it.
I'll go get you some risque photos of this,
Oh my god, this is
preppy chick.
disgusting. I'll have to go change. Oh my god.
Without even asking me any questions, just because
Can't wait to get
the nerds are helping me bring down the jocks. So he's like, well, the jocks are gonna bully me until I bring them down, and the nerds are helping me, so if Ernest needs it for his master plan, I guess we'll just go and do it. But we'll find out later that Ernest is not a very good person. He has some issues. He was either hugged not enough or too much as a child. I don't know which it is. But for now, we just know we have to go and get pictures that Ernest wants for his master plan. And so, we're going to go ahead and sneak thief our way through here. You cannot get seen by this teacher. The arrow on there that's different color than the rest of them, she is a teacher. This is an okay RNG pattern. We still have to wait for her to turn the corner or she will see me. Now we can go. And don't worry, this game never actually shows you anything bad. It's just insinuating. It's comic mischief.
Now I'm ready to dazzle everyone with my charisma and popularity again.
She didn't see me there, I don't know how. Jimmy just is all casual about it. He's like, she can't see me. I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja like
This is much better.
Bio's a ninja. Which is by really name only. Oh, hi teacher, I teach.
Where did they go?
Yeah, some of the stealth parts of this game's actually listed as a stealth game, is when you like look at like categories in which this game fits. Stealth is one of them. But man, the stealth missions in here are very lacking, and you'll see that during the psychiatrist mission especially.
That was actually funny.
I've got some nice pictures for you.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's
to
Metal
see
Gear.
them. I'm an avid student of anatomy.
Yeah, Bio. I was being a ninja. I was being a Bio ninja. Which also, thank Bio for a second for all the quotes we have, because the bot we have is the Bio bot, and that's Bio.
I'm good. What can I say?
No, we do not want to do that mission. Okay. So he's been collecting all these weird quotes in a database for years from me. For 3 years, but oh my word, that is unfortunate. Can I get on the bike still? Yeah, I can. Okay, cool. Not as unfortunate. Parkour, but with a bike. Off the bike. Hey, what's up, Nightmare? How you doing, friend? I've missed you. What's the word in your life? In a nutshell, what's the story of this game? You are an anti-bully that is taking over all the different factions for bullying you. And it's very, very funny. And it's very satirical, and it's tongue-in-cheek, and it's definitely comical, and not meant to be taken seriously. It makes fun of itself many times. Alright, so here's something fun to explain. A lot of people wonder why I do this. It's because no matter if you defend this barrier successfully or not, you still have to do the potato sequence. So I actually help them destroy it by running my bike into it, which apparently is very damaging to barriers across the world. Fun fact.
Jimmy, get to the spud cannon. It's our last
Yeah,
chance.
soda there, top off. So either way, I'm gonna have to do this sequence right here. It's just a matter of how quickly I get to do it. So I help them destroy my own barrier.
Hold them back with a barrage of potatoes, Jimmy.
So now we use this potato gun that definitely would not kill a man. Boys will be boys, right? Hijinks. It's just tomfoolery. Them taking potatoes to the potatoes. Wow, he got up from taking potatoes to his potatoes. I don't care how tough you are, man. You get a potato, high-speed potatoes with potatoes, I'm not getting up. Y'all are on your own. I'm ending the siege. Alright. Now time to grab the bull by the horns in this run. Literally.
Ain't no stopping Jimmy Hopkins.
Hey, Jimmy.
Dude, why does work have to happen? Why can't we all, like, just people in this stream right now, and those of you that have supported me, why can't we all just magically be rich all of a sudden? Why can't we find a billionaire supporter of the stream, and all just move in with him and be rich and speedrun? Like, can't we just make that happen? I'm asking for very simple things. Alright, so here's where we use the marbles. We gotta wait for him to stop, but you'll see. He just kind of falls and like that's it. You're supposed to do a lot of damage to him, but he's like, marbles are too much for me on this football field, on this AstroTurf. No, it's not really communism. It's more like somebody supporting all of us, but we don't do anything in return for them.
Come on, then.
What's communism? More like someone just, you know, being all of our parents as adults, our adult parents. So basically, I'm interrupting his combos. There's no real quick fix to this battle. Avoid his headbutts and interrupt his fist combos. That's all I can do here. Oh, wow, the camera changed on the side of the pool right as that started. I didn't even see him start to headbutt. We're gonna let him come back to us. Oop. Well, that was anticlimactic. I don't know if the game didn't realize that you can do that. Oh, 2 in a row. That one I have no real excuse for. Wow, and then he didn't go all the way to the edge of the pool, so that one actually did hurt quite a bit. Time-wise and soul-wise. Hey, stop doing that. He usually doesn't do this many headbutts. Being a real jerk. Now I'm just like He didn't even do the headbutt that time. Ooh, that one would have killed me. This has been a weird battle. This has been a little bit glitchy.
Don't struggle.
We're gonna go run and get that soda in the corner because we will not recover life automatically. We need to get our life on.
Sometimes
Final moments
you
of
just
this.
gotta take the bull by the horns.
So basically why we're doing this is part of Ernest's master plan in order to take down the jocks. We don't know exactly how it all comes together yet. But by the way, the photos, the risque photos, have nothing to do with his master plan. He just wanted them because he's a pervert. And we're about to figure that out right now. So all this master plan talk, now the costume is part of the master plan, but honestly, these felony pictures he had us take of this cheerleader, definitely not needed for his master plan. Our class president is just a big old pervy. It's a high school, but it is a boarding high school. So basically, Jimmy's parents dumped him here because his mom is a kind of a gold digger, and she just got married and is going on a year-long honeymoon with her new husband, her new rich husband. And so she drops you off here, which is the most violent school in America. So of course you have issues because you've been abandoned your whole life, and all these guys want to beat you up. And the second you get there,
Did you not?
and it's the hijinks that go along with it. But we're pretty far in the speedrun right now. We're in chapter, what, 4, 5, 4? 4.
You vandal!
Now, if these guys see me actually spray painting, they will try to stop me, because even though I'm spraying over a naked student of the school, the worst offense to them is the fact that I'm spray painting at all, and they will try to bust me for that. So I don't know, again, I cannot explain that part of prefect logic in this game. Cops are the same way. They'll be like, you cannot use spray paint in this town. Leave that naked picture of that high school student alone. How dare I ruin this art? Especially as all these adults are here gawking at it. Now, Ernest is going to run around and replace posters, but you can stop him from doing that, and that's a little known fact. I did not know that until I started speedrunning. It's him, Ernest, who keeps replacing the posters that you're spray painting.
Supply of fresh posters.
He's actually physically existing within this mission, and if you find him and you beat him up, then he will no longer be able to affect the mission. He's right there. You can see him running in the distance. Wait. Yeah, he ran off. We're good now. He's not going to replace any more posters.
Go to class, or I'll tell your parents you did whatever I decide you did.
I could go all day.
I'm really hoping I get lucky here. I did not. And we have no baseball bat either. I'm just going to kind of go ahead and knock these guys out. Whoops. His mama said knock you out. Oh, never mind. He's still here.
So distraught.
But that one I'm actually really confused on this one.
This is the end for you.
Apparently, he does come back from running away. But I haven't actually done this poster yet, so joke's on him.
Mercy.
I learned something new today.
Is that absolutely necessary?
Good job, Ernest. I'm being completely useless to your own cause. Alright, so soda's up. Get enough spray paint to last us a few missions. We will be using spray paint again for tactical reasons, so we want to have enough of it. And we got one more poster. Apparently, said Ernest covered up a poster he'd already covered up, so I don't really know what his game plan there was. But I'm not going to argue.
Seems like there's just no shame left. What the heck's your problem?
Did you ever make fun of someone at their funeral?
Remember, we are being truant right now, so the cops will chase me, because one of the things, I'll say this for Nightmare's advantage,
You're too smart for school.
if you have classes that you've not yet completed, so there's classes that are maybe the funnest part of this game that we will not do in the speedrun. But if you were to play this game, I'd recommend doing all the classes, and if you're not done with the classes yet, they will literally punch you for being truant. They do not mess around with your education. You will improve your disposition, or they will make you by force.
Oh, you are the sweetest boy ever!
Here, I'll show you.
I don't know, about 20 seconds, as per the 20 seconds I just lost. Something around there, probably 30 seconds.
The most popular girl at Bulwark.
If you, but also if they have a stick, which they usually do, I'll just take the stick from them and beat them with their own stick, and that will be faster. But that's not how it played out. In this
Another
particular
good
one.
deed done.
Can't let anyone know it's time.
So we have to go all the way across to the other side of this place. It makes just as much sense to go and get a bicycle for this final mission. But we're about to go to the big game. What is the big game? Exactly. It's the big game. The only game we're talking about, which is the big game. Now that we've cleared up the whole, like, Ernest being a pervert thing. And alley-oop.
What the heck? I'm bored.
Please don't try to get on your bike again. Who's gonna do that? Yeah, I figured as much. It's the same thing to open this gate as it is to get on the bike, and it was too close together. And he seems to prioritize getting on the bike to anything else in the world. Only thing he prioritizes higher than getting on a bike is tackling other kids. Because that is also done with the Y, or the, well, Y, that's Xbox, with the triangle button. So his priority when you press the triangle button is, are there any kids to tackle?
Here's the mission.
No. Is there any bikes to get on? No? Okay, then I'll do anything else you want. So basically here, we're pretending to be the mascot, and casually, what you do is you do this cheer for everybody who asks you to, or if they see through your disguise and they beat you up.
Nice work.
Now, I didn't know until speedrunning, what the game doesn't tell you
Let's see it moves, man.
is that if you just ignore them and start the next part of the mission, it's never actually going to fail you, and you're never actually going to have any repercussions from that. In fact, everyone forgets about you by the time you start this section of the mission.
You're in grave
So,
danger of a knuckle sandwich.
you don't find out until you
Get on
speedrun
with
this
it,
that
that's
actually
what.
doing the little bowl dance for
Here's a
everybody in
ball
your
we
way
break.
is
Get to the
unimportant.
shed by the field
Useless.
and swap it for the real game ball.
Did you forget what I said about messing up?
No, I did not forget.
Come on, you can do it!
Notice I just ran past everybody. Didn't have to do any dances.
You suck too much.
You should come this way.
Buttons for what? Type of game?
Interception.
I don't know how he creates like a landmine inside of football, but somehow he does it. Look, Jimmy may not be smart, but he has a future in engineering.
Greetings.
Here.
Or I
take
guess
this glue
Ernest would
bottle.
have done that.
It's full of glue.
Never mind. Jimmy doesn't have a
Create
future
a
in that
sticky
either.
situation on the team benches. Get it? Sticky situation.
Yeah, I got it.
I probably said that quote, that Labyrinth quote. I probably did it during
Destroy you now.
Yoshi's Island if I had to guess, which is why it was a quote. Bowser King, wherever you may be. Take this annoying crying child of mine far away from me. That would make sense.
Gonna break your face.
And now watch who see that like
game will be good.
Baltic guy who just watched me put glue on the bench and then he sits on it. That's one of those things you can't explain in the game.
Funny.
He just apparently didn't think it was glue or something. I have no idea. But he was trying to fight me while I was putting glue down, so he knows what it is.
Your quest, young Jimmy, is perilous, but the rewards are glorious.
Cut the crap, Melvin. It's sort of funny the first 20
Armor.
times, but it's getting old.
Oh,
now.
that's so funny. Please someone
Scatter
quote
them
that.
over
It's so
football.
brutal but so funny. I love it.
All right.
Jimmy gets drafted. How brutal would that be? If they just turn it into a complete war game. Oh my word. Ruthless. I love it. You and I can be friends. Dark humor. Probably won't make that joke at GDQ. Probably.
Mr. Burton has a new playbook for the big game.
All right. Last mission. It's definitely piss. This is where I'm basically out of moderating or announcing for GDQ, by the way. So GDQ, I would not use these jokes in GDQ run, just so you know. Y'all know me by now. I've done enough runs in GDQ where you know.
Give you any sensitive information, I must ask you for the secret
I'm tired. But the one part that confuses me about this mission as well, not the one part, but another part, is this, because you go around and you pee, you glitch out the guys that want you to do the dance for them, but you glitch them out to face the other direction. And then you go and you pee in the cooler and they hear you do it, and you do it right beside their face. Oops, oops, turn around. And they still, for some reason, do not know that you're doing it, and they go and they drink from the cooler. It makes no sense. So you go over here and you glitch these guys out like this, quick movement, and then you pee in the cooler. I mean, I don't judge people's kinks, so at the end of the day, like, it's fine. But they definitely know I just peed in this cooler.
Come on, dance for us!
There's a rumor that someone is gonna screw up the game.
This is too much.
And again, it must be pretty potent because it makes this guy literally vomit in a 5-gallon tub. I mean, that might even be 20 gallons of Gatorade in there.
Yuck! Yuck!
Lemon lime.
Vicky, yuck!
So one more prank we have to do on these guys to soften them up for the big game. Y'all know what was coming. The big game. The only game.
Hey, Jimmy! Nice outfit! Yeah, I know. Shows off my figure, doesn't it?
Potently dehydrated, plus he's also maybe irradiated, Brandon. We don't know for sure.
Straight to business, eh? Okay. There's a switch box on the scoreboard on the field.
Now he gets to go hack this console. And by hack, we of course mean...
What will it do? It'll change the text of the scoreboard.
Come on.
Reprogram.
Hey,
you'll like it.
Look at me.
Jocks won't.
Don't do that. Hey, come on. Don't do that. No, don't do it. You know that's bad. Thank you. Kuma! You're messing me up, Kuma. I don't tolerate this behavior. Someone probably walks by my front door. My screen door is open, or and so people bring their dogs back here to poop because then they don't have to clean it up because no one sees their dog poop. So once in a while, someone will walk past my balcony door that literally no one should ever walk by. And then when that happens, Kuma freaks out. So that's exactly what happened. The only time she barks like that is if there's a dog impeding on her territory.
Who is that Gimp? Yeah, who is that Gimp?
I forget what I was saying before that. Again, no dog distractions at GDQ. Don't worry, we'll not bring Kuma. Actually, that might get you more donations. If I brought Kuma, that could be a donation incentive with how popular she is. She is the cutest dog that's ever existed. New donation incentive. Kuma joins the run. And borks. Now she's using her inside voice, because normally she knows to use her inside voice, and she's so clever that she figured out if she only barks at a certain level, then I don't yell at her, so literally she knows the command inside voice when she's not barking at other dogs, because then she just freaks out. But in general, if she barks a little too loud, all I have to do is say inside voice, and she goes book, book, and starts barking very quietly. Never seen a dog behave that way. Yeah, Kuma loves people. Kuma hates other dogs, but Kuma loves people. It's a very weird dog. Very smart, too smart for her own good. Knows how to test the boundaries. Well, where's that one going? Oh, it's in the bleachers.
You're such a loser.
Get out of your system.
What are you looking at, huh?
Get out of your system, buddy. Alright, get up. We need the football. Wrong. Why, Jimmy? I was not even pointing that general direction. You really wanted to slam that guy at the football. It's like, I'll show him. Because that targeting is completely wonky at times. It's supposed to target what's in front of you, but sometimes, especially in this mission, Jimmy's like, I'd rather hit that guy because he's annoying. Well, and that's why he's annoying. So, I mean, we don't blame Jimmy. We know why he's doing it. I didn't see where that football lands. Like, went nowhere. Wow. That guy could be an NFL quarterback if that was supposed to be his receiver. Oh, the perfect throw. Oh man, come on. Not like this game, come on.
Suck on this.
No, pick it up, Jimmy. Oh my god. Why? I might die here. This continues.
Swallowed it.
I'm getting no help here.
Beat on you.
And that one just glitched out. Happens on occasion. Come on, game. Now they're not even throwing footballs to him anymore. Oh my word, what is this? I can't even. I've never had this many footballs go awry on me in a row. And there's another one. Another glitched out. Can't even grab that one.
Incoming, Captain.
You know what, try to get him first. How many glitches in a row was that?
Incoming, Captain. Get over here. I need some blocking.
Why?
Substitute. You deserve it. 94,
And then it hit him again somehow. Somehow randomly it bounced and hit him again. I've never had this happen so horribly for me. Thank you!
Snip my jockstrap.
Run, little baby! Jimmy, take out the captain and take out the team!
I need my fans right now. Come on!
That's right.
Oh, that was a huge time loss. I should have, only based on load times, I should have gained time
So
there.
here I am,
That was
suddenly
crazy.
the king of the school. I never meant for things to turn out this way. I just wanted to
Namaste.
control a couple of psycho kids and be left alone. But now I guess I'm certainly going to live the good life.
Pain is good. I love that quote. I don't know why. It's just the quotes are so good in this game. Yeah, I'd say it's about 50 seconds with the load times plus the time I actually lost. I'd say about 50 seconds.
Hey, Darby.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, it's a bio quote.
Hey, Jim, I got some homework.
Oh, whoops! I need to go the other way. So this is a deviation from the 360 version. In the 360 version, you'll definitely not be doing class here. Or maybe you will. No, you will not be. You'll be doing the other mission first. This one's a tear different. You'll probably do class second in that one. So as long as we get in here by 9 o'clock, we're fine. We're going to do chemistry again, but this time things are going to explode on us. It's going to be like a meth lab. Only Jimmy's not even going to touch anything. He's so talented at meth explosions that he doesn't have to touch the chemistry set. Again, in joke, I will not make GDQ. It's going to specify.
Don't get too creative now, and for
personal
God's
stream only
sake,
jokes.
Don't eat anything.
But I would say that essentially he cannot touch.
Oh my, James,
He doesn't even touch this thing here. It just keeps exploding. And then the teacher just yells at him. Did I say that math? I mean math.
No,
math, not even
like
once.
That.
Yes, it's math explosions. There's numbers everywhere.
See what happens
Oh, the
when
numbers.
You don't prepare for class.
All right, so
Excuse me.
as I said, I would I'd be more upset at like talking like I do to the stream normally, except for like GDQ knows me. They know what I bring. Know I can turn it off and on. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. And the reason why I did a class there and failed it is because I want to.
All I need to do is keep the car on the...
And once again, I'd have to wait a couple minutes in order for nighttime to get expelled from school, because I'm going to get expelled, but I have to sleep before I do.
Jimmy.
So I need 7 p.m. to come faster than it would organically doing these missions. So essentially what we did here is progress time for the benefit of finishing this chapter a little sooner. I should have enough spray paint here. I did not check my spray paint, but generally as long as I follow the route that I put in front of me, I should have enough spray paint in order to complete this section without going to the store. Because if you run out, it doesn't tell you until you're all the way up this building. And then it tells you. And spray paint. So you have to go all the way back down into the grocery store, and it's an ordeal. Also, cop placement there matters. If the cop is down this alleyway when you approach, he'll get mad that you're a truant. Run in front of you, you'll probably run over him with a bike, and then he will give you 3-star rating, and you'll probably get busted and fail the mission. Slippery slope, but it's happened enough times that I know how that plays out. So I would ditch the bike a lot sooner if I saw the cop down that front side of the school where I came from. Oh, he's glitched on the ladder. There you go. He forgot where he was again for a second. He had to sit there and just look at the ladder. Between going fast and taking his time, he preferred the ladder.
Hey, you can't do that! Someone get the authorities! This wave of vandalism has to stop! This is unacceptable!
Glad I got one that you appreciated, Cybo. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. To say a pun that reaches the 18 demographic. Shoot! Disrespected. Alright, so apparently they can't get me when I'm on a car. They have etiquette here in this cop force. Don't chase the guy up a car. And I can't get busted there either, because if I get busted there, then I fail the mission and have to do it all over, because we're still in the mission. Sometimes it's easy to forget that right at the second.
I need a plan.
We still have to finish up this mission.
I did it! That's great. Listen, we've
Well,
got.
legs aren't bad. Are we talking in real life or like Earthbound? Once again, this is all load time and faster version of the PS3 that's giving me all these time saves. This is not me just for some miracle. Make sure I have all the items. Do I have? It's worth checking to see if I have TNT, and I do not. I'm actually going to come back and get it because we're going to need this sometime soon in the run, and I want to make sure I have enough. For safety's sake, we should have enough based on random locations that they exist on the map, but why risk it when there is no biscuit to risk it for? It's just a Triscuit, and who likes Triscuits? So risk it for the biscuit. And now, if you did not catch that, basically, while he was out making his mark on the school, everybody started hating him. And you're going to find out it's really Gary behind it all. Remember Gary, the guy we don't talk about much? Yeah, he's behind all this. But one thing they don't teach you in school that you should know is rats hate marbles more than anything else alive. Don't believe me? Well, you will after this mission. As you can see them just trip on the marbles. I have to get 20 of these buggers. And I'm already at 19. Because I keep tripping on the marbles.
Those critters are even worse than the students. Check the delivery crate to see if any of them are still lurking in there.
Basically, I put them in the spots the rats are most likely to get stuck or go, and they're the paths that like the game glitches them out the most. And they will trip on them just like humans will.
Thank you, Jimmy.
So 19 of the rats just tripped on marbles that I strategically placed in the library.
I did that a
That's
long
why.
time ago.
This is just the coding didn't check for them actually being nice, you know, instead of humans that can actually fall and hurt themselves on marbles. The game just doesn't know the difference.
No sweat.
Again, truancy, not acceptable in the school. Not up in here.
I don't believe this! Oh no!
And this one, so now Gary got some, and basically who's behind this, I may never explain this again, so I may forget, but who's behind all this are the townies. They're basically dropouts from Bulworth, and they're supposed to be the strongest faction. Faction, non-faction, but they're not really. There's a lot tougher ones, once you know how to fight them. But the issue here is that they must feed these very, like, poor kids that can't afford Bulworth. They feed them amazingly well because they are by far the biggest kids that you've ever seen. Like, I don't know what they're feeding these poor kids. They need to cut that out. Stop aiming towards it.
Hey, are you an idiot, Hopkins?
Alright, so what we need to do is take damage here down to the red. So, it may seem weird for me just standing in fire, but we need this. Kuma, I get it, someone's walking their dog. Kuma! I get it, someone's walking their dog. You need to stop. Kuma, 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 you need to stop. Hey! Kuma, stop!
Do you mind helping me again?
Jesus, she knows she's not supposed to. She's coming to apologize. Look at this. She knows she just done messed up because she looked at me while she was barking, so she knows. She just hopped into my lap to apologize.
I'll check it out. You get out of here.
She knows she's in trouble.
Careful, Jimmy.
So she came up to hug me. Oh, I need to move.
I hate that school.
Hey, Kuma.
What are you doing? My way, schoolboy.
I'm gonna mute for a second.
I regret nothing.
Hopkins comes through.
Alright, mic unmuted. So, I think she's done barking for now. Sorry about that barking to the mic. Sorry for the deaf people now in chat that were wearing earbuds. She was very mad. She was very angry. Now she's not. It's funny that she came to apologize to me and then made the same mistake of barking again. What a jerk. Alright, so basically every faction is mad at us and we have to make slight reparations to every faction here. We've done now the nerds by quelling the library and the athletes by putting out the fire in the gym. And this one we need to rescue Johnny, who is now literally psycho, because Gary told them, and he'll explain this himself on an unskippable cutscene, but basically Gary got the townies to say that they had hooked up with Lola or something. And then that makes him go crazy and he beats up a bunch of them and then he goes to a psych ward because of it. So now we're going to go bust him out of the psych ward because, you know, they're not going to look for him after we bust him out. Once someone gets busted out of a psych ward, they're free. I hear. Whoops, I was watching chat. I didn't actually watch me myself hit that car, but I thought I was going to miss it when I looked away, so honestly, y'all can tell me, but it's probably one of those weird glitches where like the car scraped the hair on my elbow, and so then turned into a brutal car wreck. But I don't know for sure because I wasn't watching. There we go, let's go bust him out. So this is the stealth mission I was talking about, like, if you want to see true stealth, this is Metal Gear Solid right here. If you've ever seen it. Like, we can't let that guy see or hear us. And then it gives us this whole tutorial, right? It's like, hey, you should crouch and sneak past these guys by going under their eyesight. Because that's the way sneaking works. Or, you know, just don't. Or just stay out of the range of their view. That's fine too. Whoops. Over this way.
I don't know, don't care, but he sure does yell a lot, huh?
Sneaky! Now we must sneak past the next guard. Sneak, 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 stealth, stealth, stealth. And we're there.
Jimmy, you gotta get me out of here. You gotta get into the control room to open the door. Get an orderly uniform from the laundry room. The dropouts set me up. What are you waiting
Power
for?
armor. Thanks for the shout out. 10 out of 10 power armors agree. This needs to be in GDQ. Sneak! Let's go ahead and sneak past this guy too. Stealth at its finest.
Score.
Although it's more Hitman style, because now I have a disguise and I totally look like a 30-year-old orderly. That, you know, they would know because it's not that big of a ward.
You want your break?
Man, this is so boring.
This guy will actually get stuck in the doorway and T-pose for dominance if you don't let him pass. I made that mistake once. He was literally sitting there with his arms out like he was T-posing for dominance and would not move, and I ended up losing the run because of it. So now I just let that guy, give that guy a second or two to get out of my way. That's a little glitch where I use the cutscene to travel distance on my skateboard, because although it will stop me from running, it won't stop the skateboard from turning its wheels. So I was supposed to be quite a ways back on that cutscene, but since I was just kind of rolling slowly ahead, I was right by the place I needed to be for that cutscene.
Thanks for getting me out, Jimmy.
Exactly, Bio. Like, they know he doesn't work there, and they know he's too young, but they're like, I could use a break.
I went a little crazy.
So there he just explained why he went a little crazy.
Yeah,
so here we're going to Blood Warp again.
See ya.
All right, Johnny. Have fun.
It's going to take two M80s well placed in order to Blood Warp effectively, which will take us multiplying the damage by jumping at the same time as it explodes. KO. Self-knockouts. And the next mission's right here. That's why KOing ourselves is a little faster, even though we have to stop and get a bike now. And now time for the classic prank. Who hasn't been in the situation where you locked your friend in an outhouse and then tipped it down a hill, right? Everyone's been there at least 5 or 6 times. But that's what we're gonna do. $5 or $6 a month, you know. I always forget where my freaking bike locker is here. It's right here, though. You get more vision, more range of vision in the Xbox version, so I don't have to memorize that. Oops, wrong way again. I just use my extended vision in order to make that work. Where the lock is, but since I don't have that big of a broad of a range on my mini-map in the PS version, I have to be a little more tactical. But now I have a pretty good idea of where it is. But the first time I ran the PS version, it took me a bit. Wow, that's actually a pretty good slide. That's the first time I've slid that perfectly into the bolt cutters. And why do I need bolt cutters? Good question. Because how else am I going to break the chain on the porta potty when I lock the PE teacher in there and push it down a hill? And the reason we're doing this is because he came on to the girl that in question who we started the mission with. Zoe is her name. And he lied about it. Oops, I went the wrong way again. I missed the steps. He lied about it, and she got expelled for false accusations against the teacher, even though they weren't false accusations. So the whole thing here is that she wants to get back at him for basically being a pervert.
Burton always goes to the can when he goes running. We've got to make sure he uses this one and send him on a trip.
First we gotta break the chain, so that's why we had to pick up those bolt cutters. Because obviously it's chained down.
I'll take care of this. You make sure he doesn't use one of the other ones.
And so her goal now is to find a lawnmower so we can really push it over. We're not strong enough to... I mean, this is a really thought-through prank by the game. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. Because we have to make sure he doesn't use any of the other porta potties, because he always has to go sometime during his run. I don't know how she knows that. She's been studying this guy for a while.
That was fun.
So on purpose, there, I run into these porta potties. Remember, that's Devil Dog. Don't feel so bad about me using that dog as porta potty fuel, because that dog is the literal devil if you watch these runs. It's a cat in a dog suit, and also it's fine. It gets up and it runs away. I saved the frames, killed the animals.
I bet Hopkins is behind this somehow. Ah, much better.
All right. Now we tip it. You don't even really have to do it at the right angle. You just run into it at all. You just touch it with the lawnmower, and the game registers that as a hit.
Corn! I didn't have corn for dinner!
Glad that's done.
Trust me, the dog is fine. Oh, holy crap, now we're not fine though. That's actually a lot worse of a situation right there, because they are going to try to knock me off my bike and hurt me. I'm just going to go ahead and make this quick. Normally I position the bike better, but once again, we got to wait for the threat meter to go down a second before we start this mission. Inside this building. Maybe. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. No? I don't think it's going down. Oh yeah, it just started to. That took forever for being inside a building.
Oh, here he is, Mr. Big.
So it did turn to yellow right before I started the mission, which means the cops won't be here waiting for me. So there's that, at least. Boys will be boys. Are you ready for another stealth mission? Look, the stealth is real in this sequence. Power armor, you ready for this? I'm gonna stealth once more. I can't be caught by these dang townies sneaking into their place. And this is how I get the respect back from the preppies, but also this is how I figure out who is behind all the actual stuff. Spoiler, it's the townies. So and Gary put him up to it, so I'm not gonna watch the cutscenes. I feel like I can adequately spoil that for you without it being a big deal. Oh, oops, I need to go over this way. I forgot about that. I didn't forget about it for too long, but you do need to go down this alleyway. As someone said earlier, the most impressive thing about this run is that the runner has learned to control the camera so well, because it's built in the San Andreas engine. It is not great. Already at max capacity from my TNTs. Alright, let's stealth.
You run like a chick!
You are so...
Get in there, you little sucker! Ow! Bit me! Ha 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 ha! Better hope you don't... Alright, just come on! They're burning those trophies down at the dock!
Alright, so we're just gonna switch to the skateboard and just get out of here. Because of course, you know, we're being stealthy. As I crash into a glass plate on the way down too. Stealth. Wrong way. So stealthy they didn't even see him skateboard. This picture can be a pain in the butt to get, and I don't know how to make it any better. There must be a way. I'm sure there is. If I just kind of wiggle around until it gives me the photo I need. And then we got freaking Michael Phelps over here. I mean, if nothing else works out for Jimmy, he can be an Olympic swimmer. Yeah, right? The stamina too, like he never gets tired. Like Jimmy is an animal. I don't know why he's not like in the Olympics or something. Ooh, nice movement. It's very hard to control the skateboard at scale like that. So I'm proud of myself.
Well, Popper, what did you find?
My dad will string me up. At least me as a friend.
There we go.
Because you can't drive. Something that they messed up in this game that I don't know why they never fixed before release is you can't ride the skateboard over curbs. So if you ever notice I hop over curbs, because if you try to hit a curb on a skateboard, it'll literally throw you in a random direction. It's not great. The bike will stay there for a bit. We gotta sleep now. Time to go nighty nights. Jimmy for Smash? That would be amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. It'd be worth the memes. So we had to sleep there because we need to get expelled in order to continue the storyline, because we're just about done with... Oops. This chapter. We got 2 more missions in this chapter after we get expelled, of course. And notice how I didn't take my bike over here. There's a reason for that. I actually respawn over by the dorm after expulsion, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get expelled, and I'll be back in street clothes. Kato, my buddy. Did you go to Midwest Speed Fest at all? Alright, Jimmy does not have a single thing on his conscience. You can tell. Only like the calmest of minds sleep that well. Oh yeah, okay, so no, get off the bike. Start the mission. There we go. Bustin' makes me feel good. As we all know, the Ghostbusters.
How you doing? Terrible. Everybody hates
meme
me.
of Bustin'. Bustin'. Probably won't mean a lot to other people who have not watched Earthbound races. Boogie Tin tournament's actually coming up. I really do need to practice my Earthbound again someday so I can own the Boogie tournament. Again, not a GDQ joke. We would not make Bustin'. That's a GDQ joke. But it is a meme in the Earthbound runs. Only in races though, only in Boogie Tin races. It's the only time I'll tolerate them anymore. Otherwise, it's too much of a meme. Alright, so here's the thing. You're supposed to get on the moped and be this little, Russell, like, 15-year-old badass by, like, riding on this moped behind Russell, who stole a motorcycle from a police officer, by the way.
Russell gets to destroy.
But actually glitching out our skateboard is going to be faster for us. Oh wow, I'm glitched though. I can't even move. I could not control my turns. So we're actually going to brake pump our bike and go faster than Russell will. So this is faster than a motorized bike. Oh, whoops. Wrong way. Don't fail, don't fail, don't fail. I don't know why I went that way. I never take that wrong turn. When you get too far behind him, you fail. So as you can see, like, you're not supposed to be able to catch him on the moped. Which, by the way, helmet safety is enforced in this. Cops will chase you if you do not wear a bike helmet while on the moped. So here you go. Here I am outrunning a motorcycle by brake pumping the actual bike. which makes him go faster because he'll stay right behind you. The game is still programmed for reasons. I don't know why it felt... There's no way the game would know that this guy could ever... I'm falling behind because I'm so far ahead of him. No way that the game could know that you can glitch the bike like this, but yet it still made a tactic where Russell will not fall behind you. He'll go your speed. The problem there is he got stuck on a car. The car spawned and he got stuck on the bumper of it. So, if you're wondering why that happened. I do want that spray paint. I'm going to use that in an upcoming boss fight.
Damn! They're locked!
Called Wedgie Strats. It's multi-special. You'll see. Wedgie Strats are my favorite strat that I've come up with in this. Worked all weekend. Ugh. Well, I don't feel as bad for not being there because I would have missed you. If I had gone and you weren't there, I would have maybe hated myself forever. Alright, so here we're going to use some more cutscene glitches where these guys are supposed to run after me. But like, why do that when you could wait to actually attack me when I enter this area, right? Same one's over here. They're just going to sit here and let me just decimate them real quick. Well, that strategy didn't work out for you guys, did it? Because what it really wants to do is snipe you when you cross this boundary so that you don't have time to react. I think it's being clever, the game. But you just have to be more clever.
We gotta go through the Red Star building. This gate is controlled by an electronic security.
We didn't use any potatoes, so we got plenty of potatoes. We just have to click the button.
I gotta hit this.
Jimmy cast sleep spell himself. That's probably what it is. Or, you know, he's just, as I said, he's not a bully. He feels just fine about the way he acts in life. He lives by his own rules and his own conscience. And that's fine for him. She actually didn't have to tell me where to go, which is funny when she gets very angry at me in a bit. She's like, finally you found the switch, but like I literally did not get any direction from her, and I outran her. But she's still very mad at you for taking the time you do. Gotta solve this logic puzzle real quick. Whoops. That time I did go the wrong direction. Merp.
You want fun?
Get the switch, dumbass!
So angry. Oh, and I hit the dumpster. That's a first. Normally, I would not be that poor in my pathing. I hit some really good movements today, and then like the easiest one I failed. I mean, it's tricky, but not like really
won't
tricky.
do anything.
But I hit some very tricky paths today. You gotta either be ahead of her or behind her. If you jump over that railing at the same time as her, you Goomba stomp her, and you fail the mission instantly. I only know that because I've seen other runners do it.
I don't think I can beat all of them.
Hang on, Jimmy.
Alright, have a good look,
You'll
Bio.
see.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Hey!
Hi there. Girl, you are one cool glass of
No, you just kind of bounce off her head, but the fact you hit her at all, the game's like, you can't hit her, she's your friend. And so the game gets very offended, is the problem.
We don't like your kind around here. Show 'em what we got for 'em. Never gonna get away.
Oh wow, I'm stuck. There's that San Andreas camera. For some reason they can't come back here, they just kind of freeze. I'm gonna have to go chase down one of them. I don't remember which one has the key right now. Must be him.
Oh, that sucked.
What have we here?
What, Goombas?
The fun's over here, Jimmy.
Goombas aren't real people. They're fake people. Alright, so here we go. Remember, oh, wow, you remember that crawl explosion thing I do? Well, there you go. I'm gonna prance and hit my head on the tubing. It's fine. Jimmy's tough. Alright. I've definitely knocked myself out almost every run I've ever done on the PS2. It's harder on the PS2 for some reason to do this. There we go.
I'm gonna break your face.
I'm gonna break my face now.
This is gonna be good. Now maybe you'll have a chance.
Alright, so what we're gonna do here, it's ulti wedgie strats.
With your weak hands.
Round 1 over. We did it. Oh. You mean like school folk. Yeah, I gotta say, that's funny.
This is gonna be fun.
Alright, wedgie strats. Oh, except for he did not face him. We're gonna have to run in circles for a second. Oh, never mind.
You're stupid and ugly.
Wedgie strats! And then, it's combo. First we blind him, or first we wedgie him, and then we blind him, so not only will he never have normal bowel movements ever again, he can't even find his way to the bathroom. Boys will be boys. Exactly. It's just general roughhousing and tomfoolery. Spray paint to the face, walk it off. Nancy.
You had enough? You want some more? Come on.
You know, you're all right, Jimmy.
And he's like, you're all right.
Okay. See ya.
Nice work. You really got me. I'll never poop straight again. Well done. Yeah, that's probably why he's like, at the end he's like, good job. He's like high right now. He doesn't even know what year it is. Good point. That's why he helps me towards the end here. Alright, so here, in this one, Russell did steal a police motorcycle, by the way. It is explained to us. And now he's very scared, and he smells like meat. Oh, yeah. Apparently that hit my elbow because, did that not trigger? I tried to go too fast because of the policeman. Come on.
Jimmy, there you are. I don't know what to do.
Good hiding place, Russell. No one could see you at all. And then, of course, we beat Russell all the way over here, but somehow he beats us to this location, and then also grabs us off our bike randomly. Don't worry about it. Video game logic.
Where are you hiding from? I'm here for your safety. Thanks, Jimmy.
Come on, we gotta get to the school. All hell's breaking loose.
And the final boss rush. What do I mean by boss rush? Well, we get to refight all the captains
Hey Jim, this is
that we've had to
turn.
beat over the
What
course of the
hell's
game.
going on? The whole place has gone mental.
So it's kind of like in the games that do boss rushes at the end. It's exactly like
They're
that.
locked.
Don't worry.
But fortunately, we've been collecting items to make these very fast, as long as we don't take damage and KO ourselves, which we did once not long ago. We have to watch our life a little bit. Which, as a very colorblind person, is kind of rough to do.
Leaders. Without them, Gary's
But this starts the final mission. It's going to be 2 parts. One is the boss rush, and then finally we get to go find Gary. Gary, quite contrary. We're not out of it yet. It's not over till it's over. We've had this game soft lock enough times. Which is why we would do safety saves for a GDQ scenario. Dude, I love Warriors, both the movie and the game, GP. I love it.
What were you
Oof,
thinking?
man. Not as much as I love you.
See it.
Just so we're on the same page.
Plan. A great plan.
You idiot! Gary's plans are a load of crap. I should know.
You don't get it. My brains and his lack of morals, nothing can stop us.
Whatever. I'm gonna stop you both.
All right.
How humiliating.
Oh, I hit douchebag over there. Oh, can you just stop deploying your dodgeball maneuvers over here? When they do that little like bend over and fetal position thing, like literally they're damage proof. Even if the immunity or whatever it is lands exactly on them, they're damage proof in the fetal position. Ooh. Alright, for the next guys, we're going to go ahead and spud gun. It's just easier that way.
Hey, Dirk. Someone's here to see you.
That's the dance of the dodge.
It's the thug. Don't worry, boys. I'll deal with him.
You're getting really tiresome, Darby. Cut it out.
Jimmy, you even embroidered it.
I have to carry on the family name. What a dirty proletarian joke.
Get up. Yep, one more time.
I have to carry on the family name.
Come on, Russell, you're really blocking me here. Russell, is he any more annoying? Oh, he's not even down yet. Oh, that was really slow. Russell, you failed me in every way you could have failed me. Russell had been so good in this game too. He had done so well at blocking me when he needed to. The missions where he was required, but not this time. We'll play it safe though. We don't need any circumstances. Y'all know what I'm saying. We don't do circumstances. Alright, let's go ahead and use... Oh, where are our bottle rockets? We don't have bottle rockets? That's weird. Could have sworn I had everything at this point. I haven't used any bottle rockets. I must have not picked up the
I need you to help me. Get lost, Jimmy. You ain't nothing.
We do have this one last M80. Oh, he's ducking though. So now we're in a very weird position. Wow, all these battles have been non-traditional. I don't even know how to fight this guy without... I just figured the slingshot's a good tactic, but actually just doing the hold tactic was better. So like, same thing I used against preps, for example. I just did that versus him, and that seemed to work just fine. Cool. He built up speed over a small amount of time, didn't he? Alright. I can't even count on Russell for one person right now. Russell's really failing me right now. Alright, one more in the boss rush, and then finally Gary. So Nightmare, you didn't even have to watch the full run. See, you get to see all the different bosses we had to fight throughout the run now. All the different faction leaders. Minus the bullies, the white shirt guys, because Russell is the faction leader and he's helping me. Once you beat Russell, he's never your enemy again. Right? This anarchy is actually one of my favorite parts of the actual game when you're playing it casually, because like, you're so lost.
What the hell
Wait, what is
are
that
you doing,
ooze
Johnny?
running?
Why
Oh,
are
spray
you taking
paint?
orders from
I was like,
Gary?
man, do they have slime?
Shut up, Jimmy! You left us and everything went down the
It's
toilet!
just spray paint.
I beat you once, I'll beat you again.
Alright, so we'll just spray paint this guy like we did the first time. Just don't have any other items.
Oh, big now, are you?
Hey, quit playing around.
You're gonna do something useful this time, Russell? It's not. This is a very slow boss rush, that's why we're losing time here, even with the load screen advantages of the PS3. Because that was just not the best boss rush ever, but time saves for later. Alright, we don't need the bike anymore. This starts the final little section. Russell, smash! Look, Jimmy and Russell are a good team. They're both super tough and not very smart.
You bunch of bitches.
And that guy has brain damage from the spray paint to his face, so he doesn't even know where he's at right now.
Go help everyone calm down. I've got some business with Gary.
Understood. Good luck.
You, what is that in your hand? Weapons are for prefects only.
Yep, as far as, I'm still gonna go through the in-game time. And since this is a PB technically on the PlayStation version, since we have load time advantage. However, as you can see, 3 hours is gonna be a perfectly adequate estimate for GDQ. I have 10 minutes to spare right now, as it were. Well, it's gonna take a couple more minutes to finish out the run, but I still had some bad things happen. I made some mistakes, but still, I would say this was a below average run.
Let the game
Which means no problem getting this done in 3 hours RTA, so that will be my estimate for GDQ. I say we have a couple minutes left is all. Of the RTA. Then the leaderboards go by in-game time, so that's why I'm going to actually finish the game. I have gotten soft locked on this beam before, where just Jimmy would not move anymore.
If you prove to be one
and I love this music, so even though I was frustrated because I was on a PB pace, I just danced to it. I had Jimmy T-pose and dance
from the start. You were
for like 10 minutes. I have a YouTube clip of it if you're interested. I love this music though. This is my second favorite track. Once it gets going.
Poor little Jimmy.
Oh wow! Holy crap! Why? Why video game?
Under fire from Russell and his goons, desperate for help. So sad, so hopeless, just needing a friend, any friend. You were so easy to manipulate, Jimmy.
It may have been one of my first runs. It was definitely one of my first runs.
And once we were friends, it was all so clear.
Well,
you had your
I had fun
lust for
T-posing.
power, but without
You were there for that GP?
to back it up,
That was
using
a long
you
time
as a
ago.
pawn was so wonderfully obvious.
I don't know what order this game came in my speed runs. It was halfway through or something. So I have 10 different games I do. 11 if you count this as a different version. 12 if you count Mother 2 as a different
wait for the
version.
right moment to swoop in. It was like lining up dominoes.
So actually I know quite a few speed runs, and see now I never forget things. I could still do most of my speed runs even today without losing a second. Get over there. Skips all the bell sequences. Just need to do that faster. That jump was not great. Alright, here we go. Final battle. And even though this is one of the easiest boss battles of any games I've ever played, it still is one of the most satisfying of any I've ever played. It's just, you've been waiting for so long. Now, the speedrun doesn't give credit to how awful this guy is to you the whole entire game. And what a freaking sadist he is. Hey, don't be like this. Wow. Normally doesn't counter you that much. Just like beating the crap out of Gary. It's just so satisfying after just dealing with his garbage the whole entire game. Oh, he got me. He got me fair and square. No cutscene skip. Let's get the final one. Time. My RTA is 2:53:21.21, making 3 hours a very reasonable time estimate for GDQ. I'm beyond convinced of that. You don't really lose a lot of time in most cases on this game. So
finally, everything is
we'll wait to see what our in-game time says.
I mean,
just
I
for
don't want to say we're going to
leaderboards.
live happily ever after or anything like that. But
I'll
life
probably.
is certainly going to get
It's definitely a top 5 time on PlayStation. Again, I've only done one full run on the PlayStation version. It's very similar to Xbox. That's why I'm not really worried about the transition. But I'm comparing it against the only run I finished on PlayStation, so this should bump me up top 5 and already on PlayStation version. I'm pretty convinced of that. I was close already on the first run. On the non-PS3 quick load run, I was close. Let's see what the times are. I must have KO'd on the final fight. It must have fell off or something. Because there's no way I should have saved a minute there. But yeah, we did. Thanks everybody who's watched me fail a lot of these runs later on. Power Armor came in and just hung out a lot, and of course Malice is always here. Zwi's always here as well. Zyra, friend for a long time. Nightmare's back. GP's always here on Bully. You can count to see a GP. GP's the way to be. You don't curse the run. Everyone thinks they curse the run, but I just have bad luck. You all know this by now. But that's a common occurrence, is people are like, I always curse your run. No, I curse my run. I don't think you guys get it. I curse my run. This will knock about 9 minutes off to in-game time-ish. 9 to 10 minutes, so we're probably looking at a 44. Depending on how much the RTA is different, it could be a top 5. It's gonna be close. If we have any type of, well, no, all I have to do is be sub 45. So yeah, it should be a top 5 run. I don't know how top 5 it is, but there's some good runners that I just bought. Some very good runners. But it should at least be a 244 in game time. I don't know why it would be. What's up, D-Money? Kimber. Kuma's just excited to see you. Kimbra is on Snapchat. She's seen Kuma in her best. Kuma is the cutest puppy of all time. And D-Money knows too. We'll just relax for a second. We're just waiting for the credits. R3! My friend! Welcome today. What's up, my dude? How's everything been going? How's all the new stuff in your life? Continued support for 27 months. R3 is the longest sub. Because he used cliff skips to be the oldest sub. Oh yeah, I forgot you were playing Vanilla, huh? How's Vanilla been treating you? Or is this your first time? Cliff skipping R3. Alright, so here's where we check our time if we can. There we go. That's 2:45. Oh, it's not a 44. But it's still top 5 time, but I'm actually surprised that like it's not actually a 44. It should be. But it's still top 5 time. Oh, Kimbra! With the Twitch Prime sub as well. Thank you so much for